43 has been completely closed down, but they were able to open up a lane of traffic. We've also got the on-ramp from Good Hope Road to 43 northbound closed, kind of helping out with the traffic control through there. We got delays basically from before Hampton all the way up, so it is solid right now. We've also got an accident on the off-ramp from northbound 43 to Locust, unrelated, also not affecting the main line so much. Westbound on 94 is a bit backed up from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and 894 westbound out of the Mitchell Interchange all the way to 68th Street through that construction zone. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Will be mostly cloudy, a low of 68. Tomorrow, a chance of showers in the morning, increasing sunshine, humid. The high will be 86 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a visit from the White House comes to the Badger State this week. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports President Joe Biden will visit Madison on Friday, one of his first campaign stops after last week's debate against former President Donald Trump. This comes after several Democratic governors discussed the president's debate performance in a call on Monday, just yesterday. A spokeswoman for Governor Tony Evers did not respond to questions about potential discussions with other governors.
An early morning crash between a car and two semis in Dodge County leaves one dead. Happened this morning near County Highway AI and County Highway W in the town of Oak Grove. Chevy Malibu drifting across the lane was hit by a Mack semi-truck. A second semi also hit the Malibu. The 25-year-old man from Beaver Dam driving the Malibu died from his injuries. The 63-year-old driver of the original semi also suffered minor injuries.
A park entrance in Whitefish Bay will remain closed until next spring because of a large sinkhole. The 20-foot-long hole formed last month near the entrance of Buckley Park and Big Bay State Park. The village board voted on Monday to move forward with a permanent fix.
A man is dead after barricading himself inside an Oklahoma City home Tuesday and holding family members hostage.
Oklahoma City police say the man was shot dead by a police sniper in a standoff that lasted hours. A man barricaded inside of a home, fired on police at one point, hitting and injuring an officer. That officer is doing well and was alert going into surgery. As police moved in, 5 people were seen coming out of the home, 3 children and 2 women who were rescued. It's unclear why police initially went to the home. Alex Stone, EBC News.
Wisconsin, the land of beer, cheese, and soon biotechnology.
The Biden administration announcing $504 million in grants for 12 tech hubs nationwide. Wisconsin is set to receive $49 million to develop research, expand lab space, and provide better access to capital in order to start businesses. Governor Evers releasing a statement praising the grant and saying that Wisconsin's designation as a tech hub will create 30,000 jobs and $9 billion of economic impact. Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Despite flying for 8 years, the City of Milwaukee People's flag is still not the official flag of Milwaukee.
The blue and yellow flag, which was selected in a contest in 2016, was never formally adopted by the Common Council. Alderman Peter Bergelis tells Wisconsin's Morning News he wants to change that and is moving forward in the process.
This people's flag has been organically adopted by the people of Milwaukee. It's time for the city to catch up.
Now, some Milwaukee leaders have criticized the process in which this flag was selected. Bergelis' reaction?
Everyone wants to hear from their constituents, so it's important to let people have their voice.
The process is expected to take several months. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
And Alderman Bergelis will join Wisconsin's Afternoon News at 5:08 to discuss the flag.
Coming up, new NBA draft picks for Milwaukee.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 3:05.
There's a reason why we install Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your reputation is on the line, you pick the brand you can trust. It's like our employees. You pick the best to preserve your good name. A guy like me that's been working on furnaces and AC systems for over half my life. I got an eye for the good stuff. And Armstrong Air Pro Series systems fit the bill. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you need a good crew installing a system you can rely on, see the man in the red van.
Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Emergency service 24/7. Quality Heating has 25 trucks ready to work around the clock to get out there quickly to solve your heating or AC problem. So when that system goes on the fritz and you want to avoid that sweaty summer heat or bypass the fear of frozen feet, the man in the red van can't be beat when it comes to prompt, reliable service. Call Quality Heating for any emergency HVAC need.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
Each day, there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely. And you feel better when you can. But you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back. But it's always short-lived. And all the while in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:07.
Being selected in the first round for this year's NBA draft, Bucks rookie A.J. Johnson's goal is all about his motivation.
Milwaukee Bucks rookie A.J. Johnson's relentless dedication to his game set him apart from his competition, making him the top option for Milwaukee in the first round of this year's draft.
It takes so much to make it to the league. I was just wondering where your motivation comes from.
My family is one of my biggest motivations, but also just like my obsession of just wanting to be like an unstoppable basketball player. That's a goal that I want to reach, so that's like my ultimate motivation every single day.
At the Frederick Medical College of Wisconsin Sports Science Center, Dylan Hunter Carter, WTMJ Sports.
And that sound means it's time for a quick sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers looking to bounce back tonight in Game 2 against the Rockies. Our coverage begins at 7:05 on WTMJ. And the U.S. is out of the Copa America soccer tournament. The men's national team exiting the tournament after a 1-0 loss to Uruguay.
Coming up, a NASCAR driver coming to a nearby 4th of July parade. That's in your 3 at 3 coming up.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
John is off for the week on the beach. Who do I have with me? Adam Roberts.
That's right. I think I look pretty good considering John usually sits in this studio.
Exactly. I'm so glad you're with me for the next 3 hours. Fantastic.
Yes,
Let's
indeed.
get straight to it.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
All right, number one is a tough one. We're learning more about the final minutes of 6 people that were killed in the house fire Sunday morning in Juneau County. 3 adults and 3 children were killed in the fire. And now we know from a close friend of the family, Steve Whitty's pastor in the CETA. He died in the fire while trying to save his grandchildren in the blaze. Take a listen to this family friend.
He actually had made it out of the house and found out that 2 of his granddaughters were still inside and went back in to see if he could save them, and unfortunately did not make it.
Turns out that he and 3 of his granddaughters were killed along with 2 of his daughters in this house fire. Pastor Whitty had just come back from a mission trip where he was overseas for a month and wanted to spend time with his family. And then this tragedy happened. Again, a total of 6 people killed, 3 of them children.
And this fire scene looks grisly when you see the pictures of that. Absolutely awful to see and to hear. Number 2, the Charter Spectrum call center in Fond du Lac closing its doors, and that means 120 employees are going to soon be losing their jobs. Now, Charter filing this letter with the Department of Workforce Development. They filed it last week on June 28th. They're estimating the layoffs will begin later in August, around the 27th of that month. They have not specified yet the reason for the closure. None of the employees appear to be union represented. Now, this is the second major Fond du Lac employer this year to announce layoffs. Mercury Marine, one of probably the biggest employer in the city, as someone who grew up there, they cut 300 jobs earlier, and they're running through this month. So Fond du Lac taking another big hit as far as jobs go.
Wow, that's a big deal. 122 jobs in Fond du Lac, my goodness. And number 3, a NASCAR driver will be in a 4th of July parade. Sam Mayer, a NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, will join the 4th of July parade in his hometown city of Franklin. He will be in a Chevy Camaro. Nice. Looking slick with his family, including his father, Scott Mayer, who's a former IndyCar Series driver. Franklin's 4th of July parade, by the way, starts at 11 a.m., starting on the corner of West Forest Hill and South Loomis Road.
I was always a Ford Mustang guy when I was growing up compared to the Camaro. I know they're kind of the two that go one-on-one for gearheads, but I don't know. I just thought the Mustang always looked a little slicker.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take either one.
Yeah, I should say, as someone without a car, I'd be happy to have either.
We'll talk about that later, for sure. But up next, why did Stephen Colbert say this about Sheboygan and what the mayor is about to do about it?
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
Where do you hope to draw students from for that campus?
Get to know what's going on in the community and businesses throughout Milwaukee and Wisconsin.
Part of our vision is diversity, not just racially and culturally, but also socioeconomically, creating the world for our students to explore, experience, and grow up in.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. We're all living longer. That means in all of our families, people are facing Alzheimer's, dementia, and other memory-related issues. Azura specializes in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They're Wisconsin-based, 14 in our state, 4 in our area. I've been in their buildings. They're fantastic. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, empathy and compassion at the core. It's Azura.
The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions!
The Bucks in 6 podcast presents a special series commemorating the Bucks championship run in 2021. From the thrilling Game 7 overtime victory against the Nets.
Durant shooting, got it at the buzzer! No, it's a two-pointer.
To the 50-point statement made by Giannis in the finals.
A 50-point game! That's the stuff of legend.
Immerse yourself in the sounds of each playoff round with Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
Traffic and weather. We got a lot going on the roads right now. Hey, Deb.
You said it, Julia. Man, 43 northbound is going to be kind of a brutal ride. Northbound, first of all, we do have an accident on the off-ramp to Locust from 43 northbound. And then we've got the ramp from Good Hope Road closed right now. Basically, they're trying to control a little bit of the traffic going through because originally we had northbound 43 completely closed at Brown Deer Road. They have been able to reopen a lane, but the left lane remains closed right at Brown Deer Road. This is because of an earlier accident. So it's going to be pretty much solid all the way up from Silver Spring to that point. Westbound 94, we've got backups from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound on 894, also seeing some backups basically out of the Mitchell interchange to 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast will see a chance of showers and storms tonight. Some of those showers already moving through southwest Wisconsin, down to 68 for your overnight low. We'll see increasing sunshine tomorrow, but it's going to be humid once again with a high of 86. Sunny Thursday and 84, and some rain returning for Friday, high of 80. Looking at 80 on Saturday with a slight chance for showers, otherwise mostly sunny. Right now it's currently 68 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 316.
All right, Stephen Colbert poking fun at Sheboygan when word was spreading that Donald Trump may have said Milwaukee's a horrible city. You may have heard this.
I learned my lesson the hard way, and I have since learned to appreciate Milwaukee, the eternal city, the Paris of Wisconsin. Suck it, Sheboygan.
Suck it, Sheboygan. Okay, shots fired, right?
Yeah.
Sheboygan's mayor taking it in stride, owning it, saying Stephen Colbert, he is going to get a care package, which will include Malibu of the Midwest t-shirt, and he'll invite him to Sheboygan. Take a listen.
Maps of Sheboygan, Malibu of the Midwest t-shirt. We're going to see if we can maybe put in a Sheboygan branded shot glass. We got a couple of those as well, too. And then just some information about our city.
Sheboygan was my beat when I worked at TMJ4 News, and they also gave me a shot glass.
Do you still have it?
I don't think so.
Don't tell them that.
Maybe it's on my shelf.
Sure, okay.
Because I have a whole bunch of bar glasses that my husband collects, so it's probably there, I'm assuming. I don't do shots anymore. I'm too old.
But you're not that much older than I am. Come on now.
Now, where would he take Stephen Colbert? In Sheboygan, you ask?
We want to see if you'd want to go surfing or go charter fishing as well, too. You know, obviously we have the brat days coming up as well, too. So if you'd want to come up for that, we'd be happy to grill some brat, get him in the brat eating contest.
Okay, as someone who has been to Sheboygan Brat Days many a time, as I have lots of family in Sheboygan, it's a big shindig. That would be, you remember the last time Colbert was kind of in hot water about Wisconsin comments a few years ago? He got dragged out to a Brewers game, had to do the proclamation at AmFam through the first pitch. I could see a similar situation playing out at Brat Days, and I have a funny feeling the crowd at Sheboygan might be a little more harsh than the crowd at American Family Field.
Really?
I have a funny feeling, because this was just a complete stray. I mean, Sheboygan is a fantastic community. Volrath Park in the summer is a gorgeous place. My mom had her graduation ceremony from high school at Volrath Park. Miesvelds Meat Market is amazing. Golden Raiders, Red Wings alike all agree that Sheboygan is a wonderful, not horrible city.
Malibu of the Midwest. You heard it here. I want to get that t-shirt.
Maybe I used to have one of them. It's like one of those old faded greens with like the stick figure and the boating hat and just says Malibu of the Midwest.
I love it. All right. It is 3:19 on WTMJ. Coming up, the prosecutor will not oppose Trump's sentencing delay in his hush money case after the high court immunity ruling. Peter Haramblu, an ABC investigative reporter, joins us after this.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Little bit of rain? No problem, because I've got a custom retractable awning installed by my friends at Comfort Awnings in Burlington. Hi, everybody. Debbie Lazaga here, and even though we've been getting pummeled by rain, I know I have a nice dry spot to relax in my backyard by just pushing a button. Just think of it. It's a warm day. A little bit of a breeze. It's raining. I still get to sit outside and listen to the pitter-patter of raindrops and still stay dry. It's all because of the awnings and screenings experts. You know, Comfort Awnings. They service all of southeastern Wisconsin and northern Illinois, and they have a huge selection of colors and fabrics to match your home perfectly. Still not sure? How about this? Right now, until the end of July, you can receive $400 off any awning or screen. There you go. That tipped it in. Give them a call at 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
I love the Fox and Hounds, voted the best supper club in the area and serving fabulous meals for almost 90 years in their rustic timber building. WTMJ's John Mercure here. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free always. Desserts, too. It's the best dining value in the state. Steak, seafood, pasta, even the steak and lobster and prime rib on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Your second dinner is free as you dine in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms. Relax with your favorite beverage on the patio in the woods. It's spectacular. Incredible place to have a drink. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. Wherever you live, it's worth the beautiful drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds, a summer must-see. Gift cards are perfect year-round gifts, as your second dinner is always free, FREE free. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Brighten up your Monday and Tuesday with a free dinner tonight. Tables are open at my favorite place, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Prosecutors will not oppose Donald Trump's sentencing delay in his hush money case after the High Court immunity ruling. Peter Haralambous was in the court every day. He's the ABC News investigative reporter. Peter, tell us, set the scene. When will he now be sentenced?
So the former president has succeeded in getting at least a delay for his sentencing. He's now looking at a September 18th sentencing, assuming the judge does not throw out his conviction in the case. And that's a serious question, in that Merchan will be the first judge, really, to apply yesterday's landmark Supreme Court decision to this case and determine whether or not some of the evidence in the case would have been protected by presidential immunity. And the second question is of if that evidence was thrown out, would the conviction still stand? So there's a serious threat to the integrity of the conviction itself, and even if it's upheld by the judge in the case, Trump has at least succeeded in pushing this sentencing further down the line. He no longer has to worry about potentially being sentenced to prison time in the days ahead of the Republican National Convention.
So what does this say about the power of a president? Because anybody else, could they have had this happen?
I mean, at the end of the day, no. This is unprecedented power in a way, not only for a private citizen, but also for the power of the executive branch. There's basically a cushion at this point between any conduct by a president and the oversight of a potential investigator with the authority to bring criminal charges. The Supreme Court yesterday laid out absolute immunity for any official acts that falls within the president's core powers. There's also the presumption of immunity for anything that could be construed as an official act. And Trump is likely to point to all of the criminal conduct across his 4 cases and highlight different official acts to argue that he should be immune from prosecution. The experts I've spoken to suggest that the implications of this case would mean massive delays for each of these criminal cases, substantive issues to bring up on appeal, and at least in the D.C. and Georgia cases, a very tight narrowing of those cases, or the potential that they be dismissed outright.
Peter, you mentioned before how much of this feels unprecedented. Does it feel at times like we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants? And can you explain further just what the greater impact of this will be for the long-term future of the nation?
So, I mean, I think it's worth looking at some of the liberal judges and their dissents yesterday, in that they raised significant concerns about the safeguards and the integrity of the republic going forward after this decision. I mean, it's also interesting. I've spent a lot of time over the last few days talking to former prosecutors, law professors about the implications of this decision, and it appears that a lot of those folks are kind of utterly in shock about how much this case has reframed our understanding of presidential power. We're in uncharted territories, not only for the former president's 4 criminal cases, but overall for the power that a president has going forward. This power is bestowed on anyone who holds that office. Biden at the moment, potentially Trump in a matter of months if he wins the election. And I think if you look at Biden's remarks last night, some people are raising very significant concerns about what the power of the presidency would look like if wielded by Trump if he escapes these cases, which in all likelihood he might, and if he wins the election come November.
ABC News investigative reporter Peter Harlambous, thank you so much for joining us from New York.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Once again, it's 3:26 on WTMJ. Coming up next, Adam Roberts has some trivia for you to win 4 tickets for the 9th against the Pirates. So get yourself ready. It's Ticket Tuesday. He also visited Northridge Mall. My goodness, what that looks like. Next.
Right now, first, some news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update at this hour as we now sit at the end of trading on Tuesday. The Dow is up 162 points to 39,331. The NASDAQ also up big today, 149 to 18,028. And the S&P 500, some good gains as well, up 34 points to 5,509. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to semperfiroofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at the roads with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Still have a bit of a backup, although it's definitely a lot better. Northbound 43 heading right past Brown Deer Road. Everything has been reopened as far as any accidents through that area and lane closures, so that's doing a lot better. We do still have a little bit of a backup right past Silver Spring, so just keep that in mind. Otherwise, southbound's looking pretty good. We got westbound 94 from about 16th Street out to about Hawley Road, a little bit of a heavy ride there, and slowing out of the Mitchell Interchange out towards 68th Street on 894 westbound. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, more chance of showers and storms, mostly cloudy, a low of 68. Tomorrow, chance of morning showers, increasing sunshine, hot, humid. The high will be 86 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee police investigating an early morning deadly shooting. It happened this morning near 34th and Burleigh in Sherman Park. 39-year-old Bobby Howard of Milwaukee died of gunshot wounds right at the scene. The circumstances leading up to the shooting are still under investigation. Milwaukee police continue to seek an unknown suspect.
Decision Wisconsin, a special election for some Milwaukee area voters. State Representatives Lakeisha Myers and Dora Drake running to finish the term of former State Senator Lena Taylor. Taylor previously held the seat in the 4th Senate District before being appointed as a Milwaukee County judge earlier this year. Polls are open today until 8 p.m. Both candidates will be back on the ballot in August to run for a full term. Decision Wisconsin coverage is presented by Pasternak and Zergobel.
Former mayor of New York City and lawyer to Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, has been disbarred in his home state. Giuliani is facing criminal charges in Georgia and Arizona over his role in efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Those are the allegations. Giuliani plans to appeal the decision by the Manhattan Appeals Court.
Budget some more time for that tire change or buying a new car.
CDK Global manages information for car dealerships all across the country and is the recent victim of a cyber attack. President of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee, Jim Tolkien.
In order to protect personal information, they shut down electronic transferring of information.
And for the time being, critical documents must be done by hand.
Until CDK is totally up and running, you have to have a hard form and then fill in the blanks in the hard forms.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Some dealers say their issues with CDK have been resolved.
With water levels remaining high in Dane County, residents can now get supplies to protect their properties. The city of Middleton will provide sand, sandbags, and plastic sheeting to construct temporary levees to protect homes there. Residents can pick up free materials on Dewey Court and Century Avenue. City staff will continue monitoring lake levels and will resupply materials as needed. When residents are ready to remove the property levees, they can place the bags, excess sand, and unused materials to the street for the city to collect.
July is trade deadline month in Major League Baseball, and the first-place Brewers are looking to augment its first-place roster.
Topping the wish list, according to Brewers.com writer Adam McCalvey, pitching.
They just need arms to deliver innings. They've already used 15 starters. They have dug so deep.
But that's easier said than done.
That's probably the most sought-after commodity because it's not often that a guy is talented and reliable and available at the trade deadline.
The trade deadline is July 30th at 5 o'clock.
I think their strategy is going to have to be patience, not because they want to wait to add an arm, but just because that's what the market demands.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The Brewers' 4-game series with the Rockies continues tonight. Coverage begins at 7:05 on WTMJ.
Now time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. After dropping the opening game of a 4-game series to the Rockies, Brew Crew look to bounce back tonight in Game 2. Coverage begins at 7:05 right here on WTMJ. The U.S. is out of the Copa America Soccer tournament. The men's national team is exiting after a 1-0 loss to Uruguay. Coming up, what does an abandoned mall look like 21 years later? Adam Roberts knows. He just toured one. That's coming up at 3:36.
As you age, you start noticing pain in your joints that didn't used to be there. But you don't have to live in pain. When joint pain becomes a reality, schedule your free pain evaluation with Rejuvenex. We'll find where your pain lives and inject powerful, FDA-approved medicines that reduce inflammation and pain while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. While treatments like stem cells can cost close to $10,000 per joint, at Rejuvenex, the cost for your injection can be as low as $65, and almost all major insurance plans cover our treatments, so you may not have to pay anything at all. Call us now to schedule your free pain evaluation, because I'm pretty sure we can help you. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
It's 3:35. Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Adam Roberts, Julia Fellow. John Mercure is off today. The long vacant Northridge Mall property, Julia, it was once a beacon of business on Milwaukee's northwest side, as you're aware, and now, of course, it is anything but an eyesore of lost opportunity, if you will. And as the building is now nearing its date with a wrecking ball, I, along with our own Dylan Hunter Carter, we both had a chance to get an exclusive inside look at now what has become of that former mall and how the city is preparing the site for its next chapter.
Have you had a look at Northridge lately?
From its opening in 1972 and for much of the next 30 years, Northridge Mall on Milwaukee's northwest side was a haven for economic activity, attracting customers from across the greater Milwaukee area. But in the 21 years since its 2003 closure, the mall has only served as a haven for vandalism, petty crime, fires, and a growing list of environmental and safety concerns.
It creates a new day for what hopefully will be a new and thriving retail complex.
Last month, the mayor called the vacant Northridge Mall building on the city's north side a, quote, blight.
Adding insult to injury for Northridge Mall, a 2-alarm fire tore through that long shuttered property.
I'm not standing here and continuing to commit my firefighters to put their lives at risk. They have families.
The fact that it's still there, it's uglying up the community. It needs to be knocked down.
Now, as the site nears its impending demolition, WTMJ was given access to the inside of the former mall to see firsthand just how much damage has been done to the interior. Where once stood shoe stores, jewelry shops, and sporting goods outlets, now sits smashed glass. There's a strong smell of mold, standing water all over the place, as well as remnants of those past fires.
Sometimes they push debris material into the center of the mall or throw it over from the balconies, and then they pile it up and light it up. There's one video actually that's on YouTube where somebody dumped accelerant down the steps and then lit it on fire. You can see the remnants of that fire right there.
With the sheer amount of safety hazards on site, Milwaukee Department of City Development Project Manager Benji Tim says there's a sense of urgency to move the demolition process along.
For some it was a playground, for some it was an opportunity to make money, but obviously it's a serious health and safety issue too. So that's the primary reason the city took it, and through tax foreclosure, and we hope to redevelop it into something much more productive for the city of Milwaukee.
What that something will look like is still unknown. Tim says the property, known as Granville Station now, will total 58 acres and will be the largest piece of land available for sale in the city once it's cleared out.
I used to come here and see Santa when I was, a small child. I used to go to the Chi-Chi's across the street, Toys R Us. So yeah, spent some time out here. The reason I do what I do is to kind of create new opportunities for the city of Milwaukee. So, it was the mall. It had its time and place, and now in the future it'll be something new, and hopefully that'll create new memories for somebody else.
A public meeting is planned for early August with the eventual site contractor to provide more information on a project timeline.
It's enough to make you want to go to Northridge to take a look.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News. And if you want to take a look yourself, I have a number of pictures that I was able to take inside the mall. If you text the word mall, M-A-L-L mall, to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620, you'll be able to see some of the pictures I was able to take inside. Needless to say, Julia, it's kind of a barren wasteland. It's crazy to think, too, that it wasn't like this all that long ago. It was just empty, but it wasn't as destroyed as it has been with all of this recent vandalism and the small fires that those that have broken in have set.
Yeah, I know that you were wearing an N95 mask, and was there a smell when you left?
Oh, yeah, it hits you. Dylan and I both commented that as soon as you walk in, and I have a video where you go in, there's kind of a wooden door, if you will, and you walk in, and it immediately hits you in the face, this just decaying smell of mold. There, again, the standing water. There's cracked skylights where birds and everything have pooped on the ground, if you will, and so that's there as well. And then there's just the general waste from when people have gone inside.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's switch gears to something happy. It's Ticket Tuesday.
It is Ticket Tuesday.
So you could win a ticket, 4 tickets to be exact, to the 9th, July 9th, against the Pirates.
That's right. And all it takes is a correct answer to our trivia question of the day. So let's cue the calls up right now. 855-616 1620. That's the number to call, the WTMJ Talk and Text line for your chance to win. You got to have the correct answer to this trivia question. Who was the Brewers' first season MVP winner? So you have to dig back into the archives a little bit. Who was the Brewers' first season MVP winner? We'll take the first caller to get it right and give you a pair of, well, actually 4, I believe it is, Brewers tickets to that game on the 9th against the Pittsburgh Pirates. 855-616-1620. No spoilers, Julia. Do you know the answer to this question?
If you wouldn't have told me, then I wouldn't have known.
Well, I will say it should be pretty obvious to anyone who's been a longtime fan of the team. This is not like a trick question or anything. It's a pretty obvious answer. So we will take the first caller to get it right, 855-616-1620. We're lining up the calls right now. Again, one more reminder of our question of the day. Who was the Brewers' first season MVP winner? And your only clue, they won it in 1981. That's the only clue you're going to get.
All right. Let's just take one up.
Producer
Our
Isaac
first
getting all the callers. We got one? All right, we got one. Hello, you're on WTMJ.
Hello.
Who's this and where you calling from?
Yeah, it's Raleigh Fingers.
All right, that's right. You got it right, so good job. But I need to know who you are. Where are you calling from?
Chris in Tulsa.
All right, Chris, congratulations. You had it right on the head. 1981 Raleigh Fingers. Robin Yount won it 2 times in 82 and 89, but Raleigh was the first to do it.
Hey, congrats.
Nice job, Chris. All right, have you stay on the line.
That was the strike year. That was the strike year, 1981.
That is correct. You're so smart. We have some smart Brewers fans
yes,
for
we
sure.
do.
All right,
Congrats.
Chris, stay on the line. Our producer Isaac will get your information and get you set up with those tickets. And that is Ticket Tuesday on WTMJ.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me as we count down to the RNC in Milwaukee. We'll talk to the biggest names across the political landscape.
The idea of having the convention here is to advertise the city of Milwaukee. And it's not good advertising for the city of Milwaukee if they're throwing Molotov cocktails and overturning cop cars.
Full podcast available on WTMJ.com or text RNC to the Old National Bank Talk and Text line and get a link sent directly to you.
Decision Wisconsin 2024 coverage is presented by Pasternak and Zergabel.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Guthrie and Fry protects the water in my house. Guthrie and Fry has provided expert advice, quality service, and reliable water since 1974. Owners Sue and Rob are well known and very generous in the local community for supporting great causes that change lives. We've got their water softener. We've got their reverse osmosis system. Our water is crisp, clean, and clear. GFwater.com. It's Guthrie and Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing me.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition. And the worst part about it is, because it affects you while you're sleeping, you don't know what this condition is doing to you.
And it was scary because I found out that I was waking up 145 times an hour. 145 times. I was scared. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed.
And that's the thing. Someone like John wakes up after thinking he's slept all night, and he's been feeling run down for years, and finally finds out something really is wrong. This is why, for us, solving sleep apnea problems is so gratifying, because we really are changing lives.
I've had more energy. I'm getting better sleep. I've been told from my wife I don't snore, but honestly, it changed my life.
This is Dr. Mothan Kandula. Solving your breathing triangle problems means a better quality of life, and you deserve that.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. For convenient car shopping and financing, visit Heiser Automotive Group at one of their 4 locations, Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Or visit Heiser.com because today's your day.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at your roads with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there. Looks like we got an issue on 894 southbound. It's an accident technically between Beloit Road and Cold Spring Road, and the right lane is blocked. So that's got things southbound slowing way down, so be careful with that. Give yourself tons of extra time. Westbound 894 backed up out of the Mitchell Interchange all the way to 68th Street. Westbound 94 is slow from about 20th Street out almost to about 68th Street. And a little bit of a backup on northbound 43 from about the county line into Ozaukee County, almost to Mequon Road, where we're seeing some delays there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
With some light rain showers starting to work into southeast Wisconsin, your WTMJ 5-day forecast will see those showers and possible storms moving through tonight. Otherwise, mostly cloudy down to 68. Some lingering rain possible tomorrow morning. Then we will have an increase in sunshine. 86 the high, and you'll feel the humidity too. 84 and sunny for your Thursday. Showers and storms then possible on Friday with a high of 80. 80 again on Saturday under mostly sunny skies. Right now, some light rain moving through Milwaukee and 70 degrees at 347.
He is our chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, author of The Big Truth, and creator and host of The Takeout and The Debrief podcast. Major Garrett, thank you for being with us.
Great to be with you.
So President Joe Biden, we've just learned from his campaign, they just confirmed that he will be visiting Madison, Wisconsin this Friday. Is this damage control for a purple state?
Well, look, the Biden campaign is in a moment of maximum distress right now. Every campaign appearance will be scrutinized as never before following the Thursday debate against former President Trump. Today, there were breaks in the dam, if you will, metaphorically, of complete, if reluctant support for the president remaining the Democratic Party nominee. Lloyd Doggett, member of the Texas House delegation, meaning he's a member of the House of Representatives from Texas. Significantly, he represents a district once represented in part by Lyndon Johnson. For those of you who may not remember, in 1968, the sitting president of the United States, Lyndon Johnson, a Democrat, did not seek or accept his party's renomination in that year, throwing it open. He did that in early 1968. The historical parallels are echoing. They're not precise, but Lloyd Doggett's not alone. Lots of other Democrats are saying things like, well, it's the president's decision, and he's got to be serious about the consequences, and he's got to see if he can win this race. They're speaking in the sort of conditional tense that they weren't 48 hours ago. So everywhere the president goes and everything he does will be watched under a microscope even more intense than before because of the debate performance and everything that flows from it, none of which is positive for the Biden campaign. And any Democrat who tells you otherwise, oh, it's a balance, or the polls aren't as bad, or the fundraising this, no, it's all bad. And the reason it's all bad is because the longer any campaign talks about itself and defends itself while not pressing the case against the opponent, any campaign is lost time. And in a campaign, the most precious commodity is time. It is finite. You cannot get any more of it. And wasted time burns out campaigns.
CBS Chief Washington Correspondent Major Garrett with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. So to that end, Major, we have been hearing a lot of different top Democrats coming out in defense of the president, including Representative Jim Clyburn, he was actually on our sister station, 101.7 The Truth. I want to play you a quick clip from him when he was on with Sherwin Hughes yesterday, I believe. This is what he had to say.
We, as a party, had better be very careful to allow people who aren't members of this party to drive that narrative, because that drives a wedge between African-American voters and supporters of the Democratic Party.
So Clyburn calling all of this talk disrespectful. Do you see it that way yourself?
Look, I understand Congressman Clyburn's perspective. No one in any political party wants the leader of that party to be told by outsiders to step down, as lots of columnists have, as magazines overseas and newspapers overseas have. Nobody likes that. That's why this is a distressing time for the Biden campaign. And Congressman Clyburn raises an important institutional point. If you deny the primary voters and caucus participants who participated in the process to nominate Joe Biden, again, for re-election, how do you tell them that that process is invalid suddenly? Well, you can't. Only one person can tell them that, the President of the United States, the leader of the Democratic Party, Joe Biden. And just to make sure the audience understands me clearly on this, there is no mechanism to dislodge President Biden as the prospective Democratic nominee. None. Zero. There is no eject button. The only way this changes is if the president decides to take himself out of the nomination process. Absent that, he will be the nominee in Chicago in August. He'll probably be the nominee before that because the Democratic National Committee has already committed to conducting a virtual nominating process that is binding on the convention before Ohio's deadline for that to be done, which is August 7th. So by August 6th, the Democratic Party nominee, according to the DNC, will be known. And unless President Biden says it will not be me, it's going to be him.
You know what's so weird is that over the weekend they were saying, oh, Biden's family is going to be visiting him and having a discussion with him and sitting down. And then I find out they've been planning this for months, that they were going to have a family get together. So is there a lot of misinformation going on, or a lot of people vying to go and, Kamala be in the running?
So, look, politicians go through this dance all the time, meaning, oh, this was long scheduled, meaning any kind of meeting. I've covered politicians for 30 years who are in a fix, who are in some sort of distress. There's some sort of thing that's broken around them, circumstances or some other thing, and they huddle to have conversations. And they say, oh, no, we're not huddling because of that thing that you and the media are so fascinated by. We were going to do this. This was long on the schedule. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Stressful conversations have been happening within the Democratic Party and the Biden family since he walked off stage Thursday night in Atlanta. Okay? Everyone knows what they saw. And even those who love and admire Joe Biden more ardently than anyone in America, because they're his family members, had to have felt pain that night and had to start having conversations about what the implications of that performance and that pain actually are. Some believe he should soldier on and can soldier on and can win this race. They're entitled to that opinion. The president will take that counsel, of course. But anyone who says, oh, this weekend thing wasn't a gathering to talk about this is not living in the real world. Of course it was a gathering to talk about this. Whether it was scheduled or not doesn't make any difference. The stress is still the stress.
Major Garrett with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Major, I want to pivot a little bit here. This is your first time on the show since the immunity ruling yesterday. And we had on Wisconsin's Morning News earlier today, legal analyst from CBS, Thane Rosenbaum, was on. And when the question was asked, so what are the long-term implications for this immunity ruling, Thane had a quote that stuck with me. He said, well, this basically says the president isn't a king, but he sort of is when it comes to official acts and immunity. Is that your take on this situation? And what would you say the long-term implications of this ruling are beyond whatever party is in office?
So, as the kids might say, king adjacent.
It's a good one.
Seriously.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's
Seriously.
true.
Seriously, not a king, not a full-blown king, but closer than we've ever been, and closer than we've ever been by decree of the Supreme Court. The court said if it's official, meaning I'm the president, I call someone who's an official in my government Justice Department, Department of Homeland Security, Internal Revenue Service, anywhere, Department of Interior, and I order them to hassle somebody because they have angered me or they're a political opponent, that's now permissible, can't be investigated. And even if the charge is brought, the court said, any evidence about that official conversation or email or document cannot be submitted as evidence in court. That's a pretty wide permission structure. Think back to Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon told relevant agencies not to investigate Watergate because it was a matter of national security. That was false. That was a lie. There was nothing about the break-in at the Watergate that had national security implications. Yet that's what he told them. Under this decree from the Supreme Court, that would not have been a crime, would not have been prosecutable. Richard Nixon would have felt no necessity to resign, and there couldn't have even been political pressure to cause him to resign except for impeachment. Now, impeachment might have happened nevertheless. There could have been a sense of revulsion in 1974 about Richard Nixon's crimes or misdeeds, if not crimes, that would have sufficiently angered that Republican Party, even if they knew he couldn't be prosecuted, to say, we're going to eject you from office by means of the impeachment process. But any president who now wonders or had wondered about the legality of something now knows for certain that those questionable lines of legal, illegal cannot even be investigated because of this decision. That doesn't mean lawless things are going to happen with every occupant of the presidency. People don't assume the office of the presidency to break the law. I'm not suggesting that. But it gives a permission structure and a clarity about that permission structure that did not exist before. Much more widespread space to contemplate things and know that among the things you're not going to have to worry about is the law. You might have to worry about the politics. You might have to worry about the blowback, but you're not going to have to worry about the law. And historically in our country, that's always been one of the things that has hemmed a president in. Hey, you got to worry about the politics, got to worry about the blowback, but you got to also worry about the law. Well, one of those things has been taken away now.
Wow, great perspective. He is the chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, author of The Big Truth, and creator and host of the Takeout and the Debrief podcast. Major Garrett, thank you so much.
Thanks, Major.
My pleasure.
3:57 on WTMJ.
The Marcus Corporation adds a new theater to its national portfolio. The Milwaukee-based company announced that it will take over operations of Showplace Icon Theater and Kitchen at the Shops at West End, just outside of Minneapolis. The Wisconsin Biohealth Tech Hub receives $49 million in federal funding with a winning bid to position the state as a global leader in personalized medicine. The 107-year-old Legacy Bakehouse in Waukesha plans to expand its operations in Cudahy after the $5.5 million purchase of the former Angelic Bakehouse production facility, which closed in March. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents, and the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love my dogs, Bella and Baxter, an important part of our family. They're kind of like kids sometimes, and like kids, they weren't always listening, but I've got it figured out now. Thanks to Matt and his teams at Sit Means Sit Dog Training, our dogs are better behaved. They don't bark as much. They just listen better. They're happy, confident, obedient. Our house is a better house. Sit Means Sit Dog Training turned it around for us. Let them do the same for you. You can start with a free consultation. The website is sitmeansitwaukesha.com. Sitmeansitwaukesha.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
With hail and high winds experienced this year in South Milwaukee, Oak Creek, and surrounding areas, Ridgetop Exteriors has been hard at work helping the community get their homes repaired. If you've experienced damage to your home, you need a local and trusted contractor. Ridgetop Exteriors' expert team specializes in navigating the insurance process so your repairs can get done. And they're happy to come out anytime for a free damage inspection. Schedule your free inspection today at ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. ridgetopexteriors.com.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns. Can we get much higher?
Oh, yeah, we can go higher.
And Bowers sends one out to center, racing back his hill at the track. Wall, grand slam!
The Brewers are in the Mile High City to take on the Rockies. Our coverage starts tonight at 7:05 on your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Tuesday, July 2nd. Your top story, a special election and disruptive observers.
I'm Adam Roberts in for John Mercure. A deadly crash involving 2 semi-trucks.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and 894 southbound. We got the right lane blocked between Beloit Road and Cold Spring Road. That is making for a nasty delay stretching almost back to Greenfield Avenue, so be careful with that. Eastbound 94 slowing down from the Barker Road area pretty much all the way to Moreland Road, then back on the brakes from east of 76th Street all the way through to about 27th. Westbound backed up on 94 from about 20th Street to about 68th, and then we've also got southbound 43 backing up from Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keith. Be your eyes on the roads. Report incidents to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, rain is likely, a chance of thunderstorms. An additional half-inch of rain is possible. The low will be 68. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, warm, very humid. The high will be 86 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a special election for some Milwaukee area voters. State Representative Lakeisha Myers and Dora Drake running to finish the term for former State Senator Lena Taylor. Taylor previously held the seat in the 4th Senate District before being appointed as a Milwaukee County judge earlier this year. Polls open until 8 o'clock tonight. Both candidates will be back on the ballot in August to run for a full term.
Meanwhile, earlier this morning, Glendale police having to remove several election observers for disruptive behavior at 2 polling locations.
Glendale Mayor Brian Kennedy tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that observers were hovering over poll workers and objecting to absentee ballots. They were registered either for the Republican Party or as concerned citizens. Police removed some election observers from the Bavarian Beer House and Good Hope Elementary School polling locations. Other observers who complied with a warning from election administrators were allowed to stay. Mayor Kennedy said many of the observers are from Norway in Racine County, about an hour away from Glendale. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin coverage is presented by Pasternak and Zergabel.
An early morning crash between a car and 2 semis in Dodge County killed 1 person. It happened this morning in the town of Oak Grove, about 2.5 miles west of Juneau. A silver Chevy Malibu drifted across the lane and was hit by a Mack semi. A second semi also hit the Malibu. The 25-year-old man from Beaver Dam driving in that car died from his injuries.
A new push to make the people's flag the official flag of Milwaukee. The flag selected in a contest in 2016, but was never formally adopted by the city. 11th District Alderman Peter Burgellis telling Wisconsin's Morning News he's pushing to change that.
This people's flag has been organically adopted by the people of Milwaukee, and it's time for the city to catch up.
Some Milwaukee leaders have criticized the process of how the flag was selected, and Alderman Borgelis will join Wisconsin's Afternoon News in studio at 5:08.
Coming up, rookies are now becoming bucks, plus how a man just got a $175,000 settlement after he did this to a cop.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 4:05.
For your next exterior remodeling project, we know you're not asking a lot from us. You want the right products for your situation, you want a few different financing options that can make your project affordable, and you want us to do a good job with minimal disruption to your life. And this one's important. You want a warranty that matters. And we know that checking every box makes all the difference. You might be surprised at how many moving parts go into it, but we have just the right people in all the right places to pull that off every day and make it look easy. The company we have took us 21 years to build. It's an awesome place to work because we never stop improving it. And we think we can do this work so well that we can actually change the reputation of exterior remodelers long term. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
Did you know that a confident retirement could be just an hour away? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Our firm has over 36 years of experience in partnering with clients to help accumulate and manage wealth throughout their retirement. Our comprehensive retirement planning process goes beyond specific asset management or estate planning requirements to learn about you, your passions, relationships, and lifelong goals. We truly want to understand you and your vision for retirement. Since we know that every decision matters as you prepare for retirement, we want you to walk away from this 1-hour consultation with the answers to your most critical retirement questions. When you have $750,000 or more in investable assets, we can help you identify the next steps to make sure you can retire well. If you're close to or already retired, give our office a call at 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com to schedule your no-obligation retirement review.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 4:07.
The newest members of the Milwaukee Bucks hope to find their place on the team.
At just 19 years old, rookies Tyler Smith and A.J. Johnson have already figured out how they can best help a veteran Milwaukee Bucks team in pursuit of another championship.
How do you envision your role with the team and fitting in with a veteran lineup that kind of already has a core in place?
My skill set, I could space the floor, shoot the ball. Right now, just run corner, play defense, do what I can just to help the team out right now.
Just use my energy and my athleticism, like defense, my playmaking ability, play fast.
In downtown Milwaukee, Dylan Hunter Carter, WTMJ Sports.
Sorry about that. It is time for a sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers looking to bounce back tonight in Game 2 against the Rockies. Our coverage begins at 7:05 on WTMJ. Over in the NBA, the Celtics and All-Star forward Jason Tatum have agreed to a 5-year, $314 million contract extension, and the U.S. out of the Copa America soccer tournament, falling to Uruguay 1-0.
Coming up, a Dodge County woman has been missing for 3 weeks. The strange purchases investigators say her estranged husband made after her disappearance with her debit card. That's coming up at 4:20.
The new fractured boulders we now have in stock are really nice. They're squarer and more rectangular in shape, and they're great for building dry-laid retaining walls. They're much easier to deal with, lock together nicely, and you get less gaps. No wet mortar needed. And we've stocked a multitude of colors. You can use them as an accent item to add character to your dry river or creek beds, too. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our organic mulch is comprised of all trees. Most mulch is made from ground-up pallets, and you don't know what might have been spilled on those pallets. Could be chemicals or who knows what. But not our mulch, we're recycling trees. Many species of hardwoods. Cedar, hemlock, light brown, dark brown, mocha, black, red, gold, and caramel. 7 colors to choose from means a mulch to match any exterior. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
John is off. I'm so jealous. I hope that you guys are having a great week. I hope that it's cut short and you guys will have a shortened work week like John, who's been off since Friday at 6. I'm joined by Adam Roberts. So happy that he's with me. I just wanted to give you all an update on the 2 corrections workers attacked by an inmate at Lincoln Hills Youth Prison in northern Wisconsin. You may remember one of them killed, 49-year-old Corey Proul, a youth counselor who was trying to help a female corrections worker who had liquid soap thrown in her face. According to investigators, she was being punched. Proul tried to help and was punched in the face. His head slammed onto the concrete ground during the attack, and he never woke up. Prosecutors say that inmate was 16-year-old Javarius Hurd. He is now charged as an adult for second-degree reckless homicide. Another inmate was also charged for aiding in the attack. Now we're learning that 16-year-old Hurd, who is now being charged as an adult in this case, was not supposed to be in this youth prison at the time. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports the Lincoln County judge overseeing his case said staff tried to get the teen to the Mendota Juvenile Treatment Center in Madison before this assault happened. Now, this treatment center provides specialized services to boys that are transferred from the Department of Corrections. It also addresses youth's resistance and opposition to conventional behaviors and lifestyles. Basically, it helps them resolving mental health issues, building healthy relationships, accepting responsibility for their actions, teaching them problem-solving skills, everything that you would hope that someone in this troubled time would be able to get. And the goal is to help patients successfully reintegrate into their communities. But there wasn't any space for him. That's what they said in court. That's what the judge said. It was disappointing to many lawmakers, including Tony Evers, who is calling on Republican lawmakers in the state legislature Joint Finance Committee to release funding that will help bolster staffing at this Madison Treatment Center where the 16-year-old was supposed to go. The construction that started in 2022, so 2 years ago, is supposed to increase the care from 29 to 93 patients there. So it was full. So that's why that 16-year-old was still stuck in the Lincoln Hills Youth Prison for boys. There's also the Copper Lake Prison for girls. It's been at the center of controversy for years with allegations of abuse. Just recently, another case with Copper Lake today in the headlines, allegations of abuse, broken bones, one child found unconscious on the ground over the past few years. A big one was when a guard was accused of shoving an inmate into his room and slammed the door on his foot. That ended with it being amputated, and it ended with a $300,000 settlement. Yet it's the only youth prison right now. A U.S. district judge said he planned to issue a broad order limiting the use of pepper spray, solitary confinement, and restraints. So things took a turn. Inmates refused to go in their rooms, threatened guards, taunting staff in 2017 that they couldn't touch them or use pepper spray because of the injunction. So legislators stepped in 2018, Act 185, to close Lincoln Hills by 2021. That time has come and passed. It was supposed to happen January of 2021 to create 3 regional facilities. So they're still wanting to do it. And it's been kind of mulling where it would be in Milwaukee. They finally found a place. It'll be on Clinton Avenue where the old Vehicle Emissions Inspection Center will be. When it complete, it'll accommodate about 32 boys, employ about 70 staff, according to the Department of Corrections. There's going to be $83 million for a new Dane County facility to be completed in 2029. Another $4 million to Northeast Wisconsin. An exact location is not clear. But in all of this, they're trying to make sure that the children who are in these correction centers are closer to home, they're getting better care, and they're also looking at a facility in northeastern Wisconsin for funding for that Lincoln Hills and Copper Lake. They say it's going to be approved, and they want to turn that into a minimum security prison for adults. So there's a lot to unpack there, and we're staying on top of it. So we're learning more that this teen who's accused of killing, hurting one corrections officer and hurting and killing a youth counselor was not supposed to be in that prison in the first place. It's 4:14 on WTMJ.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Hey, John Mercure here for Landworks Wisconsin, locally owned landscape company that's fantastic. I know because they're doing the work in my yard. From their crews to the design consultants to the admin team, they're going to take great care of you when you're taking care of your home or your business. Joe, the guy working at my house, made a good observation. He was out there the other day and said, hey, what about bulbs? They're beautiful in the spring. Think about getting on the schedule for the fall today. You want a beautiful yard next year? You need to put some work into it this year. They are the real deal. LandworksWisconsin.com. Check it out. LandworksWisconsin.com.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that? I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God. Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Yet another strong storm rolled through Oak Creek in South Milwaukee, causing actual damage at my house. Thankfully, I knew exactly what to do. I called my friends Jeff and Jake at Loyal Family Renovations, and Jeff came by to assess the damage. If your home has suffered storm damage, don't leave it up to the out-of-towners. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today for a free damage inspection, and they'll help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Traffic and weather, let's get you where you need to this afternoon with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, Julia. Yeah, we've got a crash on 894 southbound right about at Oklahoma Avenue. It is off on the right shoulder, so watch for delays coming in from Lincoln all the way down past that point. That earlier accident between Beloit and Cold Spring has been cleared, but the delays are still kind of sticking around, so careful with that. 41 southbound, we're seeing backups from Silver Spring all the way down almost to Burleigh. Southbound 43 slow from before Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keefe. Back on the brakes through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Northbound 43 is going to be slow from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Painting Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Again, starting to see rain showers moving into southeast Wisconsin, mainly in areas of Dodge and also northwest Waukesha and Jefferson counties. They will move throughout the rest of southeast Wisconsin by this evening. Storms also possible tonight and down to 68. Rain will end early tomorrow morning. We'll see increasing sun. It'll be hot and humid, a high of 86. 84 and sunny Thursday. Chances for showers and storms then on Friday and Saturday with highs around 80 degrees. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, cloudy with light rain and 68 at 418. Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Adam Roberts in for John Mercure today alongside Julia Fellow. Now, Julia, have you ever been to the Twin Cities?
Yes, I have, but I've driven there.
Okay, so you've driven through. Now, how long ago was this?
Oh, 2015.
Okay, so
2016, sorry.
So about 8 years ago. So in the spirit of a lot of people around this time, it is the 4th of July week, and so people kind of time their vacations out a little bit around this time of year. We have some people off this week. I took my vacation last week, Thursday through Saturday, went to visit the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and decided to do so for those that are familiar with my mode of transportation. I've talked in the past, do not own a car. I bike everywhere and take public transportation. That's just kind of how I get around Milwaukee. It's easy enough. I live pretty close to work. So the challenge was to get to the Twin Cities because I wanted to study some of their bike infrastructure. They have a really good setup of lanes and things like that. I believe at one point they were the #1 rated city for bike infra in the entire country. And so as we see, a lot of roads across Milwaukee are being converted now for that purpose. The mayor has his goal, 50 miles of protected bike lanes by, I believe, 2026. So I wanted to see, okay, what does that look like in full? What does that look like when it's played out? So took a train, because of course I did, up to the Twin Cities.
How was that?
Now, it was the Empire Builder, which has existed for quite a while, decades, in fact. And that was a ride to the Twin Cities, which was not without its hiccups, as is tradition with Amtrak. There were several stops along the way. I think at one point in the Dells, there was an ambulance parked on the track right by the Wisconsin River. So we just had to sit there for about, I think, 25 minutes waiting for this ambulance to get off of the train track. And then there was another little delay when we were closer to the city. So I got in, I think, to St. Paul, where I was staying, about an hour behind schedule. So it was a late check-in to the hotel where I stayed at, which, by the way, was amazing. It was an old nuns convent that was turned into a hotel, and it just looks absolutely incredible.
So here's my question. Did you learn anything with the bike lanes? Because we almost have to go to break.
Sure, I learned a lot. So I went around this loop that's called the Grand Rounds. Think 894 here in Milwaukee that does basically a square loop around a good chunk of Milwaukee County. It was like that, but 51 miles of bike lane, and I biked the whole thing. My knees were absolutely shot by the time I was done.
You were saying that.
But what I learned was that it can work where you can put protected lanes in and not completely get in the way of the roads, because that's one of the common things you hear from people is, okay, yeah, I want bikers to be safe, but what about the parking? What about traffic flow? That's important as well. And a lot of these bikeways in the Twin Cities proper, they navigate around that. You can still drive down, there's still parking available, and then the lanes are actually separated by grass. So there was a lot of interesting things to take away from that. And I just thought, as we are now progressing towards that part of our city's history, there's some things to learn from our Midwest neighbors.
Very nice. It's 421 on WTMJ. There's a major house explosion in Wisconsin, and we are staying on top of the latest. It's breaking news coming up very soon.
Hey, John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. They know our climate is all over the place. This means your home comfort system gets quite the workout. Constant adjustments need to be made to adapt to our volatile weather. Wisconsin prepares you to be ready for anything because anything happens. Fear not, because for over 42 years, my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating have lived here too, right by your side, ready and prepared for when anything happens. Spring, summer, fall, winter, even when they all seem to happen within the same week. Whether you're experiencing your next home comfort dilemma now or will be soon, call Dave Drake Camp Heating. For free estimates on new equipment, routine maintenance, or just to ensure your system is ready for anything, or maybe because you have a simple question about your home comfort, call Dave Drake Camp today. 262-367-2820. That's 262-367-2820. Dave Drake Camp Heating, your comfort is their family's tradition. DaveDrakeCamp.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. The IRS has you in their crosshairs. We know how to deal with the IRS and solve your situation. Just the other week, we successfully removed the target on a client who had been audited and was told he owed the IRS. We fought the notice and got him a refund instead. We were also successful with another client to get $94,000 of penalties removed. This is why I started Right Choice Tax Resolution, to help people fight the IRS and state. We don't judge you. We just want to help so your bank account doesn't get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security get cut in half from garnishments, or a lien put on your house or that house you want to buy. Get rid of that stress and get back to enjoying life. Go to rightchoicetax.us right now to book a meeting. We get you may be embarrassed or angry. The situation won't go away if you do nothing. That's rightchoicetax.us.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Ryan Stefanchek.
Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchek specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Want to tell you about breaking news. An explosion just leveled a home in the town of Lafayette. Walworth County Sheriff's Office and Elkhorn Fire Department responded to a small fire, and they found out it was an explosion. Happened just after 2:15 this afternoon. Happened at a residence on Kulo Road. Search and rescue operations are now in progress, and we're staying on top of the very latest there. Switching gears, if you text WATCH to 855-616-1620, WATCH, WATCH, to the WTMJ talk and text line, you'll be able to see the missing woman the Dodge County Sheriff's Office is searching for. She is 37-year-old Crystal Roche from rural Clyde, last seen alive exactly 3 weeks ago on June 11th. She was reported missing a week and a half later. She was last seen wearing a black Wisconsin Dell sweatshirt. Now, we are learning that her estranged husband is now charged with 7 felony counts related to her disappearance, including using her debit card to buy several $1,000s worth of goods. This includes several bottles of drain cleaner, stain remover, carpet cleaner, upholstery cleaner, cleaning wipes. Can I go on?
It's a pretty extensive list for sure.
Chemical-resistant gloves. Court records show Crystal's family reported her missing when her phone kept going straight to voicemail. Her stepmother told detectives that she was worried that Zachariah Roche was involved, saying he had previously harassed her, wanted to make sure that he did not do anything to her, and that they were going through a divorce. The sheriff says this is very much still being considered a missing persons investigation, but they are keeping everything, sending all they can to the state crime lab for analysis, like Zachariah's car.
We certainly are working very hard to bring her home, but we also recognize that the investigation could turn at any time, and we have to be prepared so that if there is a need to maintain any evidence, we can do so.
Again, if you text WATCH to 855-616-1620, our producer Isaac will keep it up throughout the commercial break. You can see her. She's the missing woman. Dodge County Sheriff's Office searching for her. 37-year-old Crystal Roche from rural Clyde, last seen alive exactly 3 weeks ago on June 11th. We are wishing for the best. Last seen wearing a black Wisconsin Dell sweatshirt. But for right now, her husband is charged with identity theft. It's 4:27 on WTMJ.
Quickly, news about your money here. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update at the close of the markets today. All green for the majors. The Dow's up 162 points to 39,332. The NASDAQ up 149 to 18,029. And the S&P 500 up 34 points today to 5,509. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Buying a home should be a joy, but could you imagine doing this without a realtor? Paperwork, inspections, appraisals, deadlines, showings, market research? Or you could relax. Or understanding legal documents, negotiating offers, coordinating inspections, securing finance. Oh, sorry. A realtor can take the stress out of the home buying process. See how at wra.org/a-realtor-can. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Realtors Association.
Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
and to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder. Here's to Supper Club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
When the New Testament pictures a Christian, a follower of Jesus Christ, it's more than just having a personal relationship with God. It's more than having a biblical worldview. It's more than holding to certain moral values. In the New Testament's way of seeing things, to be a Christian is to have a pastor, or many pastors, pulling for you.
Dr. Michael Ziegler this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line, 414-238-9329. Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It is 4:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story, a house explodes in Walworth County.
I'm Adam Roberts. The president heading back to the Badger State.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Southbound 43, right in the Marquette interchange. We've got an accident off on the left shoulder, so that is already going to start to cause some big problems, backing up all the way past Fond du Lac Avenue already. We've also got delays basically from before Hampton Avenue all the way down past Center Street. Northbound 43 is backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to about Capitol Drive. Westbound 94, a solid ride through the Marquette interchange all the way to about Hawley Road with the eastbound side hitting the brakes. Around 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to about 35th Street. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, rain is likely, a chance of thunderstorms. An additional half-inch of rain is possible, a low of 68 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, warm, and humid, a high of 86 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, an explosion levels a home in the town of Lafayette. Walworth County Sheriff's Office and Elkhorn Fire Department on scene. They say it was a small fire they were responding to. Found out it was a huge explosion happened after 2:15 this afternoon. Happened at a residence, a private home on Kula Road. Search and rescue operations are in progress right now. TMJ4 News reports seeing Flight for Life on the scene.
In Milwaukee, police investigating after an early morning deadly shooting near 34th and Burleigh on the Sherman Park neighborhood on the city's north side. 39-year-old Bobby Howard of Milwaukee dying from gunshot wounds at the scene. Police continue to seek unknown suspects, and the circumstances are still under investigation.
A visit from the White House comes to the Badger State this week. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports President Joe Biden will visit Madison on Friday, one of his first campaign stops after last week's debate against former President Donald Trump. This comes after several Democratic governors discussed the president's debate performance in a call on Monday. A spokeswoman for Governor Tony Evers did not respond to questions about potential discussions with other governors.
A major inconvenience for car dealers across the country.
CDK Global provides database management for about 15,000 car dealerships across the country. But after a cyber attack, dealers using CDK have had to fill out contracts with pen and paper. President and dealer principal of Andrew Toyota, Andrew Schlesinger, says there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
I have heard anecdotally from other dealers in other parts of the country that some of them are now up and running.
And believes this should serve as a cautionary tale.
If it's not a wake-up call for some of these other DMS providers, because, I think this is not going to be an isolated event.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
As of today, Andrew Toyota reporting they have regained some of their accounting and finance capabilities.
With water levels remaining high in Dane County, residents can now get supplies to protect their properties. City of Middleton will provide sand, sandbags, and plastic sheeting to construct temporary levees to protect their homes. They can pick up free materials at Dewey Court and Century Avenue. City staff will continue monitoring lake levels and will resupply materials as needed. When residents are ready to remove their temporary levees, they can place the full bags, excess sand, and unused materials to the street for the city to collect.
July is trade deadline month in Major League Baseball, and the first-place Brewers are looking to augment their first-place roster.
Topping the wish list, according to Brewers.com writer Adam McKelvey, pitching.
They just need arms to deliver innings. They've already used 15 starters. They have dug so deep.
But that's easier said than done.
That's probably the most sought after commodity because it's not often that a guy is talented and reliable and available at the trade deadline.
The trade deadline is July 30th at 5 o'clock.
I think their strategy is going to have to be patience, not because they want to wait to add an arm, but just because that's what the market demands.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update through Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. After dropping the opening game of 4-game series to the Rockies, Brewers look to bounce back in the Game 2 tonight. Coverage begins at 7:05 right here on WTMJ. In the NBA, the Boston Celtics and All-Star forward Jason Tatum agreed to a 5-year, $314 million contract extension.
Signing unlimited WTMJ News Times 4:35.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
4:36 on WTMJ. I hope you're having a great day. Young kids in post-pandemic world are falling behind. Let's get to our ABC News correspondent, Alex Stone. Hey, Alex.
Hey there, Julia. Yeah, this was kind of the big fear and argument going into the pandemic. You remember during the shutdowns that the kids were going to suffer, but it seemed like that most people were talking about like 9th graders and 10th graders of what if they were not in science class and in English class and in math, what were they going to do? But not really on the youngest, on the babies, who it was kind of thought of during that time that they're too young, that they're not in school anyway. They don't know what's going on. They've got time before they're in school. But doctors are saying that they are seeing a new research that is out today, that the impacts are delayed in the youngest Americans, and they're being seen now that really those like 9th graders back during the pandemic ended up doing fine. They could learn off of screens. It may not have been ideal, but they were able to figure it out and come back around. But those who were 1, 2, 3, 4 years old during the pandemic didn't get the early learning and the development that they would have normally gotten, and simple things that the young kids learn early, they did not receive. And this new research today, Dr. Jamie Peterson at Oregon Health and Science University says really shows what those young children are lacking now. And she told us.
So holding a pencil correctly, opening your milk, right, when you go through the lunch line, tying your shoes. Those used to be expectations for kindergarten that teachers you didn't have to help with, and they're doing a lot more of that.
And experts are saying that the children are entering school now lagging in the basics, like being able to identify shapes and letters, or even being potty trained going into kindergarten or into first grade. Social skills are lacking, that they're finding the pandemic era babies now struggle to solve problems with peers or to manage emotion because during COVID, they were alone, and they didn't have to do any of that. And they were with their screen, but they didn't have to share a block or play with a group of children and decide who was going to be the leader in it. And they lost out on playtime and imagination time, which now they have to learn. And she had
that meant disrupting social interactions, which we know are the foundation of brain development for little kids. So much brain growth happens in the first 4 years, particularly in the first 2 years. And we basically said, put on a mask, stay away from grown-ups, don't talk to other kids.
And they say Black and Hispanic children are the most impacted by this. Boys were more affected by this than girls. But there is good news, guys, that they say that still these children are so young that they are resilient. It's going to take work, and a parent needs to realize what's going on in a young child, or maybe a grandparent realizes it, and that early intervention is important, that they've got to work with their teachers and with their pediatrician on a plan to help get their child back on track, because as they get deeper into school and they get older, that it can manifest into a number of things. They're going to probably stop, wetting their pants, but the social aspect of it could turn into anxiety or depression or any number of things as they get older. And so they're saying you got to take care of it now.
It's interesting, Alex. I know the study wasn't targeting teachers necessarily, but as now a follow-up to this, it'd be really interesting, wouldn't you think, as teachers are having to become second parents for so many children, now they're just being saddled, it would seem, with even more tasks than they already had to handle.
Yeah, very true. And also the follow-up to this would be in 10 years. Do these kids overcome this on their own as they're going through 4th, 5th, 6th grade, where they kind of absorb what they needed earlier on and then get it then and fit back in? Or does this manifest into something even bigger 10 years from now where they have serious anxiety or other issues that were never dealt with? The other thing, though, the question being, well, where were parents during all of this? Shouldn't they have been teaching a lot of this? And it seemed like that you had 3 groups of parents. You had the group that was really invested in their children's development, and they were on it, and they were teaching them this stuff, and those kids are doing fine. They have overcome it fine, that they're doing great in kindergarten and first grade. Then you've got a group that they don't want to take their time to do that they see school as, like daycare, and the teachers deal with it, and that they didn't do it. They were watching TV, and they didn't want to be the teacher in the situation. Then you have that group that the parents were busy, that they were working probably remotely at that time, or maybe they were even out of the home and they were, police officers or nurses or whatever, but they just weren't around, or they were in the house, but they were on Zoom calls themselves or on calls. And it was, sorry, Johnny, I know you're 2 years old, but you got to go watch TV in the other room and eat a snack on your own. I'll be back to you in 8 hours. And they weren't getting the lessons on how to tie their shoes and how to use the restroom and shapes and colors and all of that. And for whatever reason, they didn't get that instruction.
Just thinking about those basic skills that you need to know in life, it goes even further to math and reading and writing. I'm thinking about the 3rd and 4th graders, such an important time in their lives. Do you think that they could be held back? Are they talking about that?
Yeah, I'm sure that there are cases of that, but also it seems like at least for a little while there was the knowledge that everybody was behind, and that then it was kind of push them forward with and make up for that time. And again, it seems like in the older children that they were able to do that, and they were able to kind of pick up for time lost, and they were able to pay attention to a Zoom screen during that time. But if you were a year old, 2 years old, 3, 4 years old, that wasn't possible to sit and teach them with somebody remotely on the other end. And if parents couldn't do it at home, they just completely lost out on that.
All right, Alex Stone, ABC News correspondent in California. Thanks for joining us.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
It's 4:42 on WTMJ. I'm watching this live news conference on our channels here. My goodness, can you believe how huge that is?
Yeah, we're hearing right now from, I believe this is the fire chief from Elkhorn speaking.
Answering questions. Let's listen in.
But I mean, at this time it's preliminary, but it appears to be an explosion.
Okay. Anything else?
That's really all the information that we have at this time. It's still fresh. We'll obviously update the media as we can throughout the night if we have any new information. Keep your eye on Walworth County Sheriff's Office Facebook page for any updates or any times we might be having another press conference.
I do have one more question. A lot of people are posting about this online. Is there a threat to any other homes, or is there a fear that there could be another explosion?
No, this was not natural gas fed. So out here in the rural area, it's all propane. So if it was the propane, which is kind of we're leaning right now, but until we investigate, we won't know. But we secured propane, secured power. So at this time, it looks like it should be contained to this structure.
Thank you so much.
And how did you come to the conclusion that he looks to be the only one there? Did he tell you, or is it just, I guess, how did you know that?
Just contact with the family members. It
okay.
Like he was the only one at home.
Okay.
So but until we verify that he was the only one there, I'm not going to make assumptions.
Okay.
All right, there you have it. Looks like we just got the tail end of that news conference, but again, an explosion leveled a home in the town of Lafayette. From what I was reading on the transcript here, it looks like one man was inside and was taken to a local hospital, and they're not releasing his condition. But the Walworth County Sheriff's Office and Elkhorn Fire Department responded to that explosion just after 2:15. Happened in a residence on Kulo Road. Search and rescue operations were in progress. Flight for Life was seen there, and it looks like there was just one person in the home, and they found him. It's 4:44 on WTMJ. We'll be staying on top of this developing news.
It's like playing baseball in the house
Mom, Dad broke the window.
without the risk of
Again.
that. Every Thursday at 8:40, play virtual baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News. Step up to the virtual plate and test your mettle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right.
It's virtual baseball, presented by Signing Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Elmbrook Family Dental. Love this place. I just went to see Dr. Brunner at one of their 2 Brookfield locations. With the help of laser technology, he's easing my TMJ, helping my headaches on the side of my head right by the temples. Wonderful staff like Mindy makes this whole process so comfortable. Going for a few more sessions. What separates them from everybody else is their quality of dentistry. Go to elmbrookfamilydental.com to book an appointment. That's ELMBROOK, familydental.com. 7 dentists at convenient locations, and they're opening another one in Wauwatosa on August 1st. Go to elmbrookfamilydental.com.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. Don't miss the largest vacation sale in the nation. It's the Fox World Travel exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations. July is the best time of the year for unbeatable deals. If you like saving, you do not want to miss out on this sale. Let Fox World Travel book your best price guarantee vacation and secure your vacation with just a deposit. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July and get on the exclusive list. That's foxworldtravel.com/July.
Amish outdoor furniture with poly and wood available. And that poly is the richest of outdoor furniture. It's just about indestructible and will virtually last forever. At Erickson's, we have poly furniture in abundance, so you're guaranteed to see a great selection. The beauty of it is you can put it outside all year round and not worry about it, because the color runs all the way through, so it doesn't fade, and minor nicks and scratches won't hurt the look. Erickson's Landscape Supply. For an abundant selection of poly and wood Amish outdoor furniture, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better selection of metal yard art than we have here at Erickson's. Anything from natural and painted metal signs to painted roosters from 1 to 6 feet tall. Natural steel flying ducks and cattails. Cute little frogs, geckos, pigs, flamingos, and goats. And palm trees. The list is endless. And that's why you come here. Erickson's Landscape Supply, right on Spring Street in Union Grove, where you'll find a fantastic array of artisanal metal yard art. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Or better yet, drive on over and take a gander at the goods.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at Heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
Traffic and weather. Let's get where you need to safely with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb, how are the roads?
Hey, Julia. Yeah, a bit slow. We got southbound 43 right in the Marquette interchange, an accident off on the left shoulder. Now, the delays are pretty much stretching back to Fond du Lac Avenue. Very doable delays. And they continue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise. Otherwise, southbound is slowing down from before Hampton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive to Keefe. Northbound's pretty much slow right out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Now, we also have an accident on 894 southbound right about at Oklahoma Avenue. It is off on the right shoulder, and delays are pretty minimal past that point from what I can see. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Showers and storms tonight down to 68. We're starting to see some more rain moving through. It's kind of going right straight up Highway 151 if you're on that way from Fond du Lac down to Madison. We'll be moving through some of that heavier rain right now, and there's rain behind it as well. Morning rain then for your Wednesday. We'll see increasing sun, a high of 86. The humidity will be out as well. For your Independence Day Thursday, mostly sunny, hot, and a high of 84. Friday and Saturday, high around 80 with chances for showers and storms. Right now it's cloudy and 68 in Milwaukee at 448.
Independence Day, 2 days from now, this Thursday. We have with us on the line Dr. John Raymond. Thanks for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you, Julia.
With Medical College of Wisconsin, so glad you're with us. So what are some of the common hazards associated with summertime holidays, such as the 4th of July?
Yes, we all want to have fun, but there are many hazards, including extreme heat, fires, injuries due to fireworks or outdoor cooking accidents, sports injuries for the weekend warriors, boating and swimming accidents, injuries associated with yard work, and even food hygiene-related illnesses. There was a study that showed on average 280 people go to the emergency room every day in July from those types of injuries due to outdoor activities.
And speaking of those outdoor activities, Dr. Raymond, let's start first with fireworks, because that's the one that jumps off for me, if you will. We hear every single year someone with a fireworks-related accident, and suddenly they're without one of their digits.
Right.
What's the safest way to enjoy fireworks for the holiday?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, obviously, fireworks are a colorful way to celebrate the holidays, but statistics from the Consumer Product Safety Commission showed that last year there were over 10,000 emergency room visits in the U.S. for fireworks injuries, and nearly a third of those injuries were in children under 15 years of age. 38% of the injuries occur on hands, as you mentioned, to the fingers or the hands, 24% to the legs. And obviously, hand, finger, and eye injuries can be devastating. So the safest way to enjoy fireworks really is to leave it to the professionals. But if you're going to do your own fireworks, there are some tips. Use only legal fireworks. Keep a safe distance to avoid injuries to people and to avoid starting a fire. Establish a safety perimeter, and it's recommended that for ground-based fireworks, that be at least 35 feet. And for aerial fireworks like bottle rockets and whatnot, at least 150 feet to be safe. Operators should wear protective eye gear. You should keep water handy in case there's a fire, and work hard to keep kids safe. And make sure that you've got a cell phone so that you can call 911 if someone is injured.
Oh, I agree. It's a big one. See it in ERs every year. We always talk about it and have a horrible report. We don't want that again this year. Doctor, what about safe boating and swimming?
Yeah, safe boating and swimming. Obviously, we love to enjoy our summers here in Wisconsin, and we have many beautiful waterways. The National Safe Boating Council does have some safety tips about boating. First of all, be prepared. Know your boat, check your trailer to avoid highway accidents, and observe the safety regulations for the dock or your boat landing. When you're on the water, observe safe boating speeds, especially on lakes that are being used for swimming and boating. Obviously, wear life vests, protect humans and pets with the life vests, stay hydrated with water, and have a well-charged cell phone or marine radio in case you have an emergency. And also, and this is controversial, but it's a really good recommendation, avoid alcohol. It affects your vision, your coordination, your judgment, and that can actually be exacerbated when you're on the water compared to being on land. And I want to point out that you can be charged for boating while under the influence, just like you can for driving a car under the influence. And my wife mentioned a slogan to me this morning that makes a lot of sense. Water on water, beer on the pier. And that's a trademark slogan for the Voice of Boating in Ontario, Canada.
That's a good one.
Thanks, Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Canada. I have a life vest for my dog. Do you have them for your dachshunds?
We do, but we have not taken them out on the water. And they're very long, small life vests.
Dr. John Raymond with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Dr. Raymond, we talk a lot about grilling and cookouts. What's your go-to, before I ask the question, what's your go-to 4th of July cookout food?
It's just grilled vegetables.
Of course.
That sounds so
on
on brand. Why am I not surprised? All right, so Dr. Raymond, obviously, with barbecuing and anything involving open flames, you have to keep food safety in mind and also avoiding situations that could foster bacterial growth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good idea to remember food safety tips for outdoor eating. For hot foods, keep them hot, 140 degrees and above. If they cool down for more than 1 or 2 hours, there's a risk that you could have a bacterial infection. Cook, pack, and transport your food safely, and keep cold food cold. It's recommended that that food be stored at 40 degrees or colder until it's served. And then if you're going to pack different types of foods in your cooler, organize the cooler and keep the lid closed. do your best not to cross-contaminate, especially if you're cooking with poultry, and clean the produce before you pack it, because even vegetables can carry infections that can cause foodborne illness. Don't reuse platters and utensils, and obviously cook the food at the right temperature, which may be difficult to assess if you're grilling rather than cooking in an oven.
That's important.
And grill safely. Yeah. If you're going to marinate in the refrigerator, but not on the countertop or outside.
You know, we're going to hit probably high 80s, near 90 degrees tomorrow. How do you protect yourself from the heat, especially when the heat index is going to be even higher tomorrow?
Yeah, thank you, Julie. And we had talked about this recently to try to avoid heat exhaustion and heat stroke and whatnot. So stay cool as much as possible. Stay in the shade, stay hydrated, dress in layers, wear light, loose-fitting clothing, and use light colors that'll reflect the sunlight rather than absorb it. Don't leave your kids or pets in the car, even for a short period of time. And if you're going to be out in the heat for a long period of time, have a buddy with you so that if you start to have problems, they can help take care of you. Don't smoke outdoors. That can actually add to your stress if you're out in the heat. And obviously, either avoid alcohol or use it in moderation. And then if you're concerned about others, check on people that are at high risk.
Dr. Raymond, another thing that is often associated with the 4th of July or any long weekend is sporting and even yard work, as we have some extra time to get projects done around the house or just enjoy recreational time. How about those injuries that can be associated with those activities?
Yeah, thanks. Really great question. Obviously, we increase our outdoor activities over the summer holidays, and those injuries can range from orthopedic injuries for weekend warriors, maybe playing softball or volleyball, to yard work injuries from falling tree limbs, shovel accidents, heavy lifting, and even chainsaws and pruners that can cause significant injuries. So we just recommend that you use common sense during yard work, wear gloves, knee pads, safety glasses, long-sleeved shirts to protect your arms if appropriate. And then if you're going to do sporting or yard work and you're really not physically active most of the time, stretch before you go out and stay hydrated.
Great advice. All right, your good news of the week, Doctor.
Well, the good news of the week is we are so lucky to live in a country where we can celebrate true democracy and independence, and that's what Independence Day is all about. So I just want to express my personal gratitude for living here in the United States.
I love it. He is the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dr. John Raymond, thank you so much.
Thanks, Doc.
Have a great 4th. Thank you.
You too. It's 4:57 on WTMJ.
The 107-year-old Legacy Bakehouse in Waukesha plans to expand its operations in Cudahy after the $5.5 million purchase of the former Angelic Bakehouse production facility, which closed in March. The Marcus Corporation adds a new theater to its national portfolio. The Milwaukee-based company announced that it will take over operations of Showplace Icon Theater and Kitchen at the Shops at West End just outside of Minneapolis. The Wisconsin BioHealth Tech Hub receives $49 million in federal funding with a winning bid to position the state as a global leader in personalized medicine. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This report is sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today, right now, at thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at its acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you've got water in your house, you need Guthrie and Fry. We've got their water softener. We get their salt delivery. We've got reverse osmosis that protects the water in our house. They've got the best people. They've got the best products. It's Guthrie and Fry. They treat their clients like their family. I feel that every time they're in our house, you need Guthrie and Fry. Fixed rental rates, convenient salt delivery programs. It's gfwater.com.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
Come visit, learn, and discover at the recently opened Food and Farm Exploration Center near Stevens Point in Plover, Wisconsin. The 50,000 square foot Science and Technology Center is a place to take the entire family. Experience over 60 interactive exhibits, a children's play area, demonstration farm fields, and home to the world's largest potato masher. The Food and Farm Exploration Center is a place for connecting with food and those who grow it. Just a short drive from Milwaukee. Plan your visit today at explorefoodandfarm.org.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Shop Steinhaffel's 4th of July sale. Get amazing closeouts and bonus buys, plus take an extra $100 off of your purchase of $19.99 or more. And pay with Steinhaffel's 18-month 0% financing. Steinhaffel's 4th of July sale. Shop in-store and online at steinhaffels.com.
Can we get much higher?
Oh, yeah, we can go higher.
And Bowers sends one out to center. Racing back his hill. At the track. Wall. Grand slam.
The Brewers are in the Mile High City to take on the Rockies. Our coverage starts tonight at 7:05 on your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Tuesday, July 2nd. Your top story, a man injured in a Walworth County house explosion.
I'm Adam Roberts in for John Mercure. A Milwaukee special election for some.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and on 894 southbound at Oklahoma Avenue, we have a crash right about at the off-ramp there, so watch out for the minor delays heading right past that scene. Northbound 175 right about at I-94. We get the left lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. This is just about at Brewers Boulevard. Trying to get on to 94 eastbound. And then we've got the other accident on southbound 43 at I-94 in the Marquette, off on the left shoulder. Delays are stretching back to about Fond du Lac Avenue with that one. While you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hull Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, rain is likely, a chance of thunderstorms. An additional half-inch of rain is possible, a low of 68. Tomorrow, really hot, a high of 86. Mostly sunny, warm, and humid. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, developing news we've been staying on top of for the past half hour. One person rescued after a fire and explosion destroys a home in Walworth County. Elkhorn Fire Chief speaking at a news conference in the past few minutes in the town of Lafayette this afternoon.
There was unknown number of people trapped, and we arrived on scene. We immediately water on the fire, people in the basement, and once in the basement, my crews did establish contact, verbal contact with one person. It took them approximately 30 to 40 minutes to dig their way through to him. He did get removed from the structure, and he was transferred over to Flight for Life.
He speculates the explosion may have been caused by propane. It was not natural gas. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. The chief did not comment on the condition or identify the man who was hurt.
Decision, Wisconsin, a special election today for some Milwaukee area voters. State Representatives Lakeisha Myers and Dora Drake are both running to finish the term of former State Senator Lena Taylor. Taylor previously held the seat in the 4th Senate District before she was appointed as a Milwaukee County judge earlier this year. Polls are open today until 8 p.m., and both candidates will be back on the ballot in August to run for a full term.
Glendale police removed several election observers for disruptive behavior at 2 polling locations this morning.
Glendale Mayor Brian Kennedy tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that observers were hovering
clamoring over poll workers and objecting to absentee ballots. They were registered either for the Republican Party or as concerned citizens. Police removed some election observers from the Bavarian Beer House and Good Hope Elementary School polling locations. Other observers who complied with a warning from election administrators were allowed to stay. Mayor Kennedy said many of the observers are from Norway in Racine County, about an hour away from Glendale. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin coverage is presented by Pasternak and Zergabel.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court will consider two challenges to a 175-year-old law banning abortion. In 1849, Wisconsin lawmakers enacted statutes that have been interpreted as outlawing abortion in all cases except to save the mother's life. Back in 2023, a Dane County judge ruled that the statutes do not outlaw consensual medical abortions. They only outlaw attacking a woman in an attempt to kill her unborn baby. Sheboygan County District Attorney Joel Urmansky requested that ruling be overturned without appeal. Planned Parenthood then sued Urmansky and asked the Wisconsin Supreme Court to take up the case directly. The state's high court will review both the Urmansky appeal and the Planned Parenthood case.
Despite flying for 8 years, the City of Milwaukee People's Flag is still not the official flag of Milwaukee. That's coming up, plus the latest coaching staff for the Bucks.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 505.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved. But that's probably a mistake, because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Here's a penny for your thoughts. There's about 11,000 tire-related crashes every year.
Mostly due to driving around on underinflated, beat-up, worn-out tires with low tread.
A couple of clicks at richlawns.com will get you scheduled for a free tire tread test.
But if you're pressed for time, there's an old trick we use in the tire industry that'll tell you if you need tires.
And that's free, too.
My dad showed me, who learned it from his dad, who learned it from someone else way back in 1964.
Ah, yes. The old penny test.
Yep, just place a penny head first.
As in upside down.
Into the groove of your tire. Now, if you can see the top of Lincoln's head, you're due for tires.
And hey, if the free penny test frazzles you, book an appointment at richlawns.com.
If your tires are good,
no harm, no foul, because it won't cost you a penny. Be safe, buckle up, and hang. Always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're
due for service.
Such a refreshing change. Rich Lawns.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 507.
Getting insights into making the Bucks a winning team, starting with the coaches.
Entering his first full season as head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, Doc Rivers just finalized one of the most experienced coaching staffs in the NBA.
Dave Yeager is back, Darvin Ham, Greg Buckner will be the three, and then Pete and Rex and the other guys that we had last year will be behind the bench. So, yeah, I love our staff. It may be one of the best staffs I've ever had because we have head coaching experience on the staff with me, and I've always liked that.
At the Freighter at the Medical College of Wisconsin Sports Science Center, Dylan Hunter Carter, WTMJ Sports.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call. That's all Sports Desk. After dropping in the opening game of a 4-game series with the Rockies, the Brewers look to bounce back tonight in Game 2. Coverage begins at 7:05 on WTMJ. In the NBA, the Boston Celtics and All-Star forward Jason Tatum agreeing to a 5-year, $314 million contract extension, and the U.S. men's national soccer team out of the Copa America tournament after a 1-0 loss to Uruguay. Hey, coming up, we've got an alderman in from City Hall, and we're talking about the people's flag. It's back in the cycle again. This alderman wants and how he wants to present the flag to the city. That's coming up next.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:08.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Well, actually, Adam Roberts beaming in for John Mercure today, sitting in. Julia Fellow, of course, here in the Annex Wealth Management Studios on this Tuesday afternoon. Well, it's back in the conversation again, the People's Flag of Milwaukee. Now, we're going to start first talking about the current flag of the city, which if you've never seen it, we're about to beam it up on our YouTube stream. You can text WATCH to 855-616-1620. Now, the current flag of the city is not the People's Flag. It dates back to 1955, and in a word, it's busy. There is a lot on this flag. It actually inspired this comment from a 2015, I believe it was, TED Talk. Actually, I don't have the sound for that. For some reason, it's not playing. But essentially, this flag is extremely busy. There's a lot of things that aren't even in the city anymore. County Stadium, for instance, is on the current city flag. Well, now, the People's Flag has been flying around many city homes and other areas. It's been incorporated into the city since roughly 18 when this first came up. And now a new alderman at City Hall is renewing a push to make this the official flag of the city. We're joined in studio by 11th District Alderman Peter Bergelis. Peter, welcome in.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
So first question I have for you, because the last time this issue was brought up was about 6 years ago, kind of stalled out in 2019, then 2020 happens. Obviously, the pandemic takes precedence, and the issue has kind of been tabled. Why bring it back up now?
Well, I think what we've seen in the 6 years since this was last in front of the council is that the community has organically adopted this flag as the flag for Milwaukee, and it's time for the city to catch up.
Why did it stall?
There was the Common Council had some concerns on how the process played out to select this flag and vote on it, because back in 2018, this was online only, and online only before the pandemic is much different than online only today. But the Common Council punted and sent it to the Arts Board. The Arts Board said, this is not an artistic question, this is a political one, and punted it back. The Common Council, or the city clerk, issued an RFP for proposals to start the process over and do it right, and there were 0 responses to that. After that, people started running for re-election, and then COVID happened, and a few years later, here we are.
I thought that was our flag, Adam.
Yeah, and you'd be amazed. I saw on Reddit earlier when this another article was shared about this. Half of the comments are, "Wait, that's not the city's flag? I thought it was."
I've gotten that same feedback from a lot of my constituents and a lot of people from the public.
Some people pushing back though, and someone also was an eagle-eyed to the Reno, Nevada flag. We have that if you text WATCH to 855-616-1620. Looks almost exactly like ours, except for it has a star. And my goodness.
Yeah, I remember your fellow Alderwoman Malele Coggs back in the original run for the flag made mention of that.
Regardless of if Reno followed us or not, the fact is they are strikingly similar.
Now, to that end, Alderman Bergelis, I mean, there's only so much that people can do with the city flag. There's bound to be some similarities that pop up over time.
There is a whole lot that people can do with the city flag. We've seen that in our community over the last 6 years. You can't buy beer or socks or go to a Brewers game or a Marquette game without seeing the logo or the colors somewhere. This is absolutely part of the community. And there's one comment that I saw on Reddit, I think it was, that I want to share. This is the People's Flag is an opportunity for the city to brand itself. The Brewers, Bucks, Golden Eagles all have featured the flag in uniforms and apparel. It has become part of the fabric of the city. I think that's absolutely accurate.
Alderman, I want to ask you, the makeup of City Hall is much different than it was the last time this was brought up for conversation. I believe only 4 alderpersons from that last conversation are still on the City Hall's Common Council board right now. Do you feel more confident that with the different makeup that this maybe has more legs than it did previously? Are you more confident it can actually get through? I know you've mentioned you want to have this unveiled next year in late January.
Right. I think it's important that every alder hear from their constituents and get feedback about this issue, just like any other important issue at the city. And in terms of the makeup, I think there's support in the community at large, which will in turn encourage alders to support adopting this flag. One thing that was missing 6 years ago is some good community outreach and making sure that everyone gets a chance to understand what's at stake here, what the new flag means, where that meaning came from, and then give feedback to it. And we're going to do that, and I want to do that in every single aldermanic district this fall. So we have a legislative recess in August. That doesn't mean we're not working. We'll be out in the community, and I want the conversation about the people's flag to be part of that outreach.
You see it all across the city, and it's on the lapel of his jacket. Alderman Peter Bergelis with us in studio talking the people's flag. Thank you, Alderman.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Miss any of the truth on WTMJ?
I'm representing the bull.
Maybe there's something wrong with me.
Catch the podcast wherever you get your podcasts and catch up on moments like this.
Shout out to all the nurses in Wisconsin and within the sound of my voice, whether you can hear me or not. You do great work, and it's to be appreciated.
And listen to the truth on WTMJ every Sunday from 7 until 9 with Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas, right here on 620 WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Town Bank. It's Wisconsin's bank. It's my bank. I know I'm a little biased, but it is the best bank. Best banking solutions, best customer service. I know what you're thinking, customer service. I hardly ever go into the bank. Well, I do go into my Town Bank location in Menominee Falls, but even if you primarily use the bank online, through the app, bill pay through your computer, all of that stuff, there will come a time where you need customer service, and Town Bank, part of the Wintrust family of community banks, has the most robust customer service online. You ever feel like you're kind of being pushed around by your bank, like they're just making things harder, or like they don't even know you? Let me tell you a little bit more about Town Bank. They take a different approach, whether you need unique banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future. They've got local experts ready to lend a hand. Start banking where you matter. It's townbank.us. Different approach, better results. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. It's Town Bank. It's Town Bank through and through, in your community, involved and engaged. It's Town Bank.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Traffic and weather. Let's get you home with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there. Well, it looks like we still have an accident on southbound 43 heading into the Marquette interchange off on the left shoulder, so something to keep in mind, although I'm not seeing too many hefty delays with this, maybe a little bit back towards Fond du Lac Avenue. We do have delays before that, though, between Hampton and Capitol Drive, so heads up with that. Northbound 43 is backed up out of the Marquette all the way to Keefe. Westbound 94 heavy from 20th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 175 or Brewers Boulevard. Right about at I-94 eastbound, we got the left lane blocked with a broken down vehicle there. Westbound 894 also seeing backups from the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th. That's through that construction zone there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, still seeing rain moving through our northern counties. Plenty of rain behind it will work its way here later this evening. Mostly cloudy otherwise and down to 68. That rain lingers early tomorrow, then increasing sun. It'll be humid and a high of 86. Mostly sunny for your Independence Day on Thursday. Could see some isolated shower and storm chances. We'll hear more from TMJ4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky in about 15 minutes on that. High of 84, 80 for Friday and Saturday with slight rain chances. It's currently cloudy and 67 in Milwaukee at 518.
John's not here today, but I wanted to have in his honor, if you text WATCH to 855-616-1620, taking a look at a tropical falcon.
This is totally his beat.
We know the peregrine falcon was a really big deal, and I have a side-by-side, if Isaac wants to show that, to show the difference between our peregrine falcon and a tropical falcon. And you can see there is a big difference. The tropical falcon has kind of like an orangish kind of face, really cute. And this is the second time ever it's been spotted in Wisconsin, in Ashland County. So it's about 2,000 miles out of place.
Buddy, where are you going?
Exactly. I don't know what happened, but it behaves like a vulture, officially in the falcon family. Looks kind of similar. Our falcon, I think, is prettier.
I would say so.
Maybe not the face.
What I like about this, it's called the crested caracara, which sounds very tropical. That just sounds like something you'd see while you're sipping out of a coconut somewhere. What I love about this, it almost looks like it has just a slicked back black mohawk.
It does. It does. Typical range is from southern South America through the Caribbean and Mexico and just to the southern tip of the U.S., primarily in Texas. And when someone found out there's birders from Milwaukee, Madison, Green Lake, Appleton, they were among the crowd that showed up in the first 24 hours of this sighting. So pretty big news for birders.
And some great shots also into us. Ryan Brady's with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. I love the one airborne. This thing looks almost just like an eagle, albeit for the mohawk.
It does. It's called the Mexican eagle.
Really?
For real. That's its nickname. It's 5:20 on WTMJ. More news after this.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
When I think of the word precision, I think of Tadpole and Craig. Oh, you don't know Tadpole and Craig? Well, you should. They're like world-class musicians, except instead of a tuba, they use a tape measure. In lieu of a lute, they labor in lumber, and the only band they know is a bandsaw. Yes, Tadpole and Craig are prodigies of precision when building log cabins and barns. But when it comes to the quartet of plumbing, electric, heating, and air, old Tadpole and Craig can't hold a candelabra to the masterful maestros at Mr. Holland's Home Services. If your drains are clogged, if your air ducts are dirty, if your water heater is nothing more than a water holder, and if your AC stops singing its summer song, call Mr. Holland's Home Services. We provide the perfect harmony of service and installation to keep your house humming. Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If your home is out of tune, we can help.
Fleet Farm has everything you need for your 4th of July cookout. No matter what your favorite grilling brand is, we've got it. Shop brands like Weber, Traeger, and Pit Boss. Get a Blackstone 28-inch griddle with hood on sale for just $279.99. Plus, pick up 2 16-pound bags of Kingsford charcoal briquettes for only $17.99. Get great deals on all the essentials for your holiday cookout at Fleet Farm.
You know this already. Inflation is sticky. You see it on the news. You feel it at the grocery store. It's the involuntary pay cut no one wants and that we can't seem to shake. Annex Wealth Management wants to help. Now is the time to download 7 strategies you can use in an environment with elevated inflation. Learn how real assets can help, which tax-efficient strategies to consider, and one way to increase Social Security benefits. It's a free download and available now. Go to annexwealth.com/inflation.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
St. Paul.
Jen Latta here from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I have told you about the delicious pizza you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate. Now there's even more to be excited about with new sandwiches on the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy options like the turkey pesto, the meatball hero, the Italian hoagie, and more. Skip the same old lunch at your desk and grab a delicious sandwich from Proof instead. Order inside the restaurant or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
That stick with you as a reporter, and this one certainly has. A Sheboygan man, he was accused of causing a crash that killed a 4-year-old girl, stealing a cross from a memorial site that belonged to her, and he's now changed his plea to no contest. It's been a long road for the family of 4-year-old Cordelia Keither. She died last April after 2 vehicles collided at 21st and Seaman. This was in Sheboygan. The little girl was on her way to a park with her sister and mother. When they stopped at that intersection to pet a dog on the sidewalk, and the suspect, Nathan Heitzman, blew a stop sign, struck a van, and that van slid onto the little girl. Nathan Heitzman was charged with homicide by use of a vehicle and a controlled substance, knowingly operating while suspended, and theft. That theft charge came months after the crash. It is related to a memorial cross laid in memory of the girl at the site of the crash. It was made by Cordelia's grandmother. Court records show the suspect, Nathan Heitzman, stole the cross, brought it to work with him, showing it off to coworkers, saying the cross was something, quote, I needed for myself, end quote. The little girl's grandmother, who made the cross, spoke at the bond hearing last year, and I was there. Take a listen.
Stealing a memorial is like desecrating somebody's grave. It's unfathomable. Where are your morals? What are you thinking?
I spoke to the family back then when I worked for TMJ4 News, who told me then this has made healing for them even harder. The case kept getting pushed back and back. I also asked Nathan Heitzman outside of court, went up to him right after that cross was stolen, and I asked him in the hallway what happened.
Do you want to explain the allegations against you about the fact that 4-year-old Cornelia's memorial cross was taken?
I have nothing to say about that.
I tried. He had nothing to say about it, but now he's pled no contest to those charges. I remember the mother of Cordelia in that courtroom. She witnessed her daughter's last moments. Cordelia's grandmother told me this family is traumatized.
You wake up and you automatically think of her, and you go to bed and you're thinking of her.
The rainbow ones?
Yeah.
That was little Cordelia with her father. You can hear that. Some home video there. By the way, their 2-year-old daughter was also hit by that van and survived. Court records show Heitzman kept saying, I'm sorry. And now, finally, this no contest plea may bring this case closer to an ending for this family in pain. He could spend up to 38 years behind bars. Sentencing is finally set for August 29th. It's 5:26 on WTMJ.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Green for the majors at the closing bell today. The Dow Jones up 162 points to 39,331, while the NASDAQ up 149 points today. They finished the day at 18,029. The S&P 500, meanwhile, closes the day up 34 points to 5,509. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
The July sale on Norwalk Furniture is on now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 40% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options. From family-friendly to on-point designs, these fabrics are durable and fashionable, and our design service is free to help you put it all together. For better quality American-made upholstery, stop in today and save at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown. Get a better night's sleep and save money on a Milwaukee mattress. For over 70 years, our family has been making mattresses and selling them direct to your family. By cutting out distribution costs, you can save up to 50% and get a better night's sleep on a premium mattress. Go green with natural latex. Reduce tossing and turning at night by reducing pressure points on your body. This is one of our most popular mattresses. Stop in today and take a test rest at any of our Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
Restaurant prices are soaring, but not at the family-owned Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Shaft is one of my favorites. It's super affordable, and the atmosphere is so much fun. Today and every Tuesday, the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet is just $9.99. It's all your favorite authentic Mexican, and all you can eat for $9.99. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that huge game room, quietly set aside from the dining area while you finish up dinner. You really should try the Mine Shaft's all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet. It's $9.99, and check this out. Desserts are buy one, get one free, and they've got great homemade desserts. The cool and comfortable Mine Shaft is in beautiful downtown Hartford and right there off the interstate in Oshkosh. Lots of seating, close parking, no reservations needed. Just walk in today for the Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. Kids and grandkids 5 and under eat for free. That's right, free. It's the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:29. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story, a man rescued from a house explosion in Walworth County.
I'm Adam Roberts. An arrest in a deadly Milwaukee shooting.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound 41, a little bit tight just south of Hampton Avenue, all the way down past Capitol Drive. Southbound 43 also a little bit slow right past Capitol on the southbound side. We do still have this accident up on the board on the left shoulder heading into the Marquette interchange on 43 southbound. Also northbound, just heavy from the Marquette up past Keefe. And westbound 94 slowing down out of the Marquette all the way through to about Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound on 175 right at I-94, we do have a broken down vehicle that is blocking the left lane. It's not on the freeway, it's on 175. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, rain is likely, a chance of thunderstorms. An additional half inch of rain is possible. It is mainly hitting Fond du Lac and Sheboygan right now in our area. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, warm, humid. The high will be 86 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, one person was plucked from a fire and explosion. It destroyed the home in Walworth County. Elkhorn Fire Chief speaking at a news conference in the past hour in the town of Lafayette.
There was unknown number of people trapped, and we arrived on scene. We immediately water on the fire, people in the basement, and once in the basement, my crews did establish contact, verbal contact with one person. It took them approximately 30 to 40 minutes to dig their way through to him. He did get removed from the structure, and he was transferred over to Flight for Life.
And his condition is still not known. We don't know his name or age at this time. The fire chief, he speculates the explosion may have been caused by propane and that it was not natural gas. The cause of the fire under investigation. The chief did not comment on any more details.
One person is in custody after an early morning fatal shooting on Milwaukee's north side. Incident happening around 34th and Burleigh on the Sherman Park neighborhood. 39-year-old Bobby Howard of Milwaukee dying of gunshot wounds at the scene. Police announcing just this afternoon they have one person in custody.
An early morning crash between a car and two semis in Dodge County kills one person. Happened this morning near County Highway AI and County Highway W in the town of Oak Grove, about 2.5 miles west of the city of Juneau. A silver Chevy Malibu drifted across the lane and was hit by a Mack semi. A second semi also hit the Malibu. A 25-year-old man from Beaver Dam driving in that car died from his injuries. 63-year-old driver in the original semi also was hurt. This crash remains under investigation.
Decision Wisconsin, a visit from the White House to the Badger State this week. President Joe Biden will be in Madison on Friday, one of his first campaign stops after last week's debate against former President Donald Trump. The visit to Madison comes after several Democratic governors discussed the president's debate performance in a call on Monday. A spokeswoman for Governor Tony Evers did not respond to questions about potential discussions with other governors. Decision Wisconsin coverage is presented by Pasternak and Zergabel.
Hurricane Beryl, a Category 4, now pushing through the Caribbean, is expected to impact Jamaica and Dominican Republic tomorrow. The storm was a Category 5. the earliest a hurricane intensity has occurred during any hurricane season recorded. Its current sustained winds are exceeding 150 miles an hour. Coastal flooding has begun in parts of Puerto Rico. Hurricane Beryl has already caused at least half a dozen deaths.
Meanwhile, a park entrance in Whitefish Bay will remain closed until next spring due to a large sinkhole. The 20-foot-long hole forming last month near the entrance of Buckley Park and Big Bay State Park. The Whitefish Bay Village Board voting on Monday to move forward with a permanent fix.
Wisconsin, the land of beer, cheese, and soon biotechnology.
The Biden administration announcing $504 million in grants for 12 tech hubs nationwide. Wisconsin is set to receive $49 million to develop research, expand lab space, and provide better access to capital in order to start businesses. Governor Evers releasing a statement praising the grant and saying that Wisconsin's designation as a tech hub will create 30,000 jobs and $9 billion of economic impact. Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin BioHealth Tech Hub plans to establish headquarters in the Milwaukee area and hire many new employees.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers looking to bounce back tonight after dropping the opener to the Rockies. Game 2 coverage begins at 7:05 right here on WTMJ. The U.S. men's national team out of Copa America, losing to Uruguay 1-0. And NBA All-Star four-timer and former champion of the NCAA at UConn, Kemba Walker, announcing his retirement on social media earlier today.
Coming up in the next half hour, we talk to CBS News Chief White House correspondent Major Garrett. And also, up next, Brian Isnansky joins us.
This is Brad Youngbooth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. We have two big humps in this business, right before summer and right after fall. And for us, that's when the lines are the longest. Folks usually choose to do their exterior work during those times, and what I'm trying to do here with this message is level out the flow of business so that we don't have to disappoint anyone come November and December because they were hoping to get their work done before the snow flies. I understand where the focus is during summer, but you know what? It really is a great time to get signed up for your exterior work, like siding and windows, because that's when the lines are the shortest, and it's the one time that we're pretty sure we're not going to get any snow. So if you're looking to get your work done, why put it off? The lines are shorter and we'll be ready. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, call Semper Fi, because you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi. Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
He is TMJ4 News Chief Meteorologist.
The Chief.
Brian Isnansky. What were you just saying about Brian? He's the kind of guy that you bring home and have your parents.
No, that was Tyler Moore. Tyler Moore, I said, was the kind of guy you bring home to mom and dad.
No, you didn't say that.
Yes, I did.
Brian, you're getting
I would
totally...
agree.
What? Brian
I think
is
Tyler's
too.
Nah, Tyler's good, wholesome. Yep. Maybe not me.
What did Julie's parents think about you when we first met him?
Gosh, well, so I met them like only a week or two after I met Julie, because we went to a Brewers game that I thought was just going to be like me and her friends, and then I found out that her family was also going along too. So, no, it all worked out because her dad, I was working in Wausau at the time, Channel 9 in Wausau, and her family has a place up in St. Germain. So her dad had already been watching me on the news up there. So he already felt like he knew who I was. So I was already in there. For sure.
Oh, fantastic.
Totally.
Yes, it worked out.
Totally unrelated. And is SAW, is that the station that has that weird night logo?
Oh, that's us.
That's SAW.
That was me.
That's
he was my rival
Channel
station.
7.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, just down the street, the same street.
Yeah, Adam, Julia. Yeah, totally. Yeah, same street. Julie and I at the same time of our careers and lives worked in Wausau. Yeah, competing stations.
Yes.
But, a place like Wausau, and we were all kind of all in the same boat experience of most of us from somewhere else. We're just trying to, get our feet wet in the news business. We found ourselves at the same local establishments often, right?
I know. Yeah, you got to be nice to everybody.
It was fun.
Well,
it was super fun.
Speaking of Wausau news, they're kind of getting drenched right now as we've got another round of rain and storms moving through. Obviously, and you were on Wisconsin's Morning News earlier, a lot of people watching that forecast for the next 48 hours. What are we looking at right now?
Yeah, so the first immediate concern is there's some pretty good storms that are starting to edge into southwestern Wisconsin. All indication, because we've just been cloudy and we've had our rain all day, that there isn't going to be enough instability for these storms to feed off of when they make it into southeastern Wisconsin. We're still going to get some more rain and maybe even a few rumbles of thunder, but we're not expecting any severe weather. For us, I think our rain chances go up. Northwestern spots, there's some rain already ongoing up towards Fond du Lac. So making it into metro Milwaukee probably more like 8, 9 o'clock this evening. And then tomorrow we get a dry day. It's the 4th of July that things start to get a little bit more unsettled again on Thursday and into Friday, but not all day rains. This looks like maybe just kind of pop-up, bubble-up storms on the 4th of July Thursday, and then maybe a little bit more widespread stuff on Friday.
Do you see flooding as a possibility?
Obviously there's some ongoing spots already that are dealing with, river flooding, some of these inland lakes dealing with some flooding as well. Any additional rain is not going to be good, but I'm not seeing anything at this point that would be coming in too heavy in a short amount of time that would bring like considerable flooding across southeastern Wisconsin. As long as we get a couple days in between of these rain events, we should be okay. But with that said, stay away from some of these high rivers, rivers that are moving really quickly. Obviously, if you're out on a inland lake boating this weekend, make sure you're not doing anything silly. If you notice the river is, like over the bank, or the lake is over the banks in spots, obviously follow the rules with your boats.
And you don't see the fireworks being canceled on the 4th of July?
There, again, like we could see little bubble up storms. I wouldn't think of altering or canceling any plans on the actual 4th of July. I really think anything that does pop up will be very scattered. Right now, I was talking to meteorologist Kristen Kershane. It's a really challenging forecast because we know everybody has specific times of parades and fireworks and outdoor barbecues. But unfortunately, Thursday's case is like you throw a dart on the map, and that's where the storm will bubble up at this point. You know what I mean? It's just that really widely scattered stuff that it's really hard to get precise at this point.
So, Niz, when you were on Wisconsin's Morning News this morning, I think Eric had you go into some of your fireworks escapades. And
no. That's like my family.
And I was going to say, I am also one of the former, when I was in college, I was the guy that, when I would go to my college girlfriend's place, she had a place in Squirrel Lake, and I had to be the one to bring the fireworks. I wanted to impress her.
Sure.
And so it got me thinking, have you ever had a close call with a firework that maybe went a little too errant?
Yeah, I mean, nothing really 100% rings a bell. But yeah, no, there's... Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know, right? That all could also mean there's been way too many times. Nothing that crazy. I mean, obviously, like the worst is like when a bottle rocket might have a mind of its own, or sometimes like a mortar shell in the tube like could backfire and stuff. But like nothing that I have all my digits. I thankfully have able to. No, I don't want to jinx it. I'm knocking on wood. But,
exactly.
In all seriousness, like, yes, I enjoy fireworks, but especially now at this part of my life, like, very responsible. Like, I want to be around for my kids. Like, I want to be around for my wife.
You want to meet your grandchildren.
Absolutely. So, take every measure. And this isn't an advertisement for fireworks, but obviously everybody out there, be safe. Obviously check with your local municipality on what's okay to do and your neighbors and stuff. You don't want to tick off your neighbors. That's the worst thing, right? You got to live with these people.
Exactly. He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with TMJ4 News. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Niz.
All right, see you guys later.
It's 5:42 on WTMJ.
Welcome to another episode of Analysis, man.
From Buck superstar Giannis.
And then I'm going to
Chris at the time.
What did coach mean? What do you...
And even Green Bay QB Jordan Love. There's only one call for these conversations.
I've never been in the Lambeau, and I have to, right? What is this Lambeau League?
Tune in to the Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Find it today on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere you get podcasts. The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Elmbrook Family Dental. They have 7 talented dentists at 2 locations in Brookfield and a 3rd opening soon in Wauwatosa, under construction right now. State of the art. It's going to be beautiful. Right near Research Park, it's being built, set to open in just a few weeks. August 1st. Head to elmbrookfamilydental.com. That's ELMBROOK, familydental.com. Their team took great care of me for my cleaning. The new patient process was so easy. They are the best. As for Kelly, the hygienist, she was great. You can learn more at elmbrookfamilydental.com and get nearly everything done in one spot. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
Finally, I made it. I'm at Wisconsin's Morning News Fest. Let's see what we got over here.
Tell me why ain't nothing but I know the words.
All right, that guy doesn't even know the words. Something over here, maybe?
If you want my body and you think I'm sexy.
Whoa, all right. Yikes. There's got to be a better option than this.
There is. Join WTMJ at Summerfest as we broadcast live all 3 weekends from our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
I love the Fox and Hounds, voted the best supper club in the area and serving fabulous meals for almost 90 years in their rustic timber building. WTMJ's John Mercure here. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free always. Desserts, too. It's the best dining value in the state. Steak, seafood, pasta, even the steak and lobster, and prime rib on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Your second dinner is free as you dine in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms. Relax with your favorite beverage on the patio in the woods. It's spectacular. Incredible place to have a drink. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. Wherever you live, it's worth the beautiful drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds, a summer must-see. Gift cards are perfect year-round gifts, as your second dinner is always free, FREE free. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Brighten up your Monday and Tuesday with a free dinner tonight. Tables are open at my favorite place, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
5:45 on WTMJ. Debbie Losgo watching the roads. Looks like it's just mostly our usual trouble spots, Deb, as people are starting to get home, but nothing too major at this point.
Yeah, things are starting to wind down quite a bit. We've got a little bit of a backup on northbound 43 from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Southbound, that accident in the Marquette's been cleaned up, so that's gone. Westbound 94, a little tight from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And then, of course, as per usual, westbound on 94 from 27th Street to 68th Street through that construction zone. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
He is our chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, author of The Big Truth, and creator and host of The Takeout and The Debrief podcast. Major Garrett, thank you for being with us.
Great to be with you.
So President Joe Biden, we've just learned from his campaign, they just confirmed that he will be visiting Madison, Wisconsin this Friday. Is this damage control for a purple state?
Well, look, the Biden campaign is in a moment of maximum distress right now. Every campaign appearance will be scrutinized as never before following the Thursday debate against former President Trump. Today, there were breaks in the dam, if you will, metaphorically, of complete, if reluctant support for the president remaining the Democratic Party nominee. Lloyd Doggett, member of the Texas House delegation, meaning he's a member of the House of Representatives from Texas. Significantly, he represents a district once represented in part by Lyndon Johnson. For those of you who may not remember, in 1968, the sitting president of the United States, Lyndon Johnson, a Democrat, did not seek or accept his party's renomination in that year, throwing it open. He did that in early 1968. The historical parallels are echoing. They're not precise, but Lloyd Doggett's not alone. Lots of other Democrats are saying things like, well, it's the president's decision, and he's got to be serious about the consequences, and he's got to see if he can win this race. They're speaking in the sort of conditional tense that they weren't 48 hours ago. So everywhere the president goes and everything he does will be watched under a microscope even more intense than before because of the debate performance and everything that flows from it, none of which is positive for the Biden campaign. And any Democrat who tells you otherwise, oh, it's a balance, or the polls aren't as bad, or the fundraising this, no, it's all bad. And the reason it's all bad is because the longer any campaign talks about itself and defends itself while not pressing the case against the opponent, any campaign is lost time. And in a campaign, the most precious commodity is time. It is finite. You cannot get any more of it. And wasted time burns out campaigns.
CBS Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. We have been hearing a lot of different top Democrats coming out in defense of the president, including Representative Jim Clyburn. He was actually on our sister station, 101.7 The Truth. Clyburn calling all of this talk disrespectful. Do you see it that way yourself?
Look, no one in any political party wants the leader of that party to be told by outsiders to step down, as lots of columnists have, as magazines overseas and newspapers overseas have. Nobody likes that. That's why this is a distressing time for the Biden campaign. And Congressman Clyburn raises an important institutional point. If you deny the primary voters and caucus participants who participated in the process to nominate Joe Biden, again, for re-election, how do you tell them that that process is invalid suddenly? Well, you can't. Only one person can tell them that. The President of the United States, the leader of the Democratic Party, Joe Biden. And just to make sure the audience understands me clearly on this, there is no mechanism to dislodge President Biden as the prospective Democratic nominee. None. Zero. There is no eject button. The only way this changes is if the president decides to take himself out of the nomination process. Absent that, he will be the nominee in Chicago in August. He'll probably be the nominee before that because the Democratic National Committee has already committed to conducting a virtual nominating process that is binding on the convention before Ohio's deadline for that to be done, which is August 7th. So by August 6th, the Democratic Party nominee, according to the DNC, will be known. And unless President Biden says it will not be me, it's going to be him.
You know what's so weird is that over the weekend they were saying, oh, Biden's family is going to be visiting him and having a discussion with him and sitting down. And then I find out they've been planning this for months, that they were going to have a family get together. So is there a lot of misinformation going on, or a lot of people vying to go and, Kamala be in the running?
So, look, politicians go through this dance all the time, meaning, oh, this was long scheduled, meaning any kind of meeting. I've covered politicians for 30 years who are in a fix, who are in some sort of distress. There's some sort of thing that's broken around them, circumstances or some other thing, and they huddle to have conversations. And they say, oh, no, we're not huddling because of that thing that you and the media are so fascinated by. We were going to do this. This was long on the schedule. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Stressful conversations have been happening within the Democratic Party and the Biden family since he walked off stage Thursday night in Atlanta. Okay? Everyone knows what they saw. And even those who love and admire Joe Biden more ardently than anyone in America, because they're his family members, had to have felt pain that night and had to start having conversations about what the implications of that performance and that pain actually are. Some believe he should soldier on and can soldier on and can win this race. They're entitled to that opinion. The president will take that counsel, of course. But anyone who says, oh, this weekend thing wasn't a gathering to talk about this, is not living in the real world. Of course it was a gathering to talk about this. Whether it was scheduled or not doesn't make any difference. The stress is still the stress.
Major Garrett with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Major, I want to pivot a little bit here. This is your first time on the show since the immunity ruling yesterday. And we had on Wisconsin's Morning News earlier today, legal analyst from CBS, Thane Rosenbaum, was on. And when the question was asked, so what are the long-term implications for this immunity ruling, Thane had a quote that stuck with me. He said, well, this basically says the president isn't a king, but he sort of is when it comes to official acts and immunity. Is that your take on this situation? And what would you say the long-term implications of this ruling are beyond whatever party is in office?
So, as the kids might say, king adjacent.
It's a good one.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's true.
Seriously, not a king, not a full-blown king, but closer than we've ever been, and closer than we've ever been by decree of the Supreme Court. The court said if it's official, meaning I'm the president,